at this playing path at the beginning of the game, heading just under Novo up towards Gatka. Now this is a fantastic little drop spot already for Stalwart. I'd imagine they're going to be dropping out the plane here, but it's Aton jumping out almost immediately, heading up possibly towards Mill to Power. That's a drop spot that they've been loving recently. Rozhok, on the other hand, quite inaccessible, and that was going to be quite the big hot drop for a lot of teams like Donuts heading up there, a few other teams on that location with Damwon and Kia just underneath them in School and Apps, but you can see that Stalwart already immediately in Novorupnoye. Sometimes they will head towards North Sosnovka, but this is their preferred drop, and this is great for an 18-man lobby, John.
Yeah, and then Wildcats as well over on that military base, joining them on that South Island. Those northern crossings may be a little bit more populated, do you think, after those bridges with this plane path as south as it is. Some teams will try and migrate north, sure, but that traffic jam will certainly have an impact.
Yeah, you're just trying to cover as much of the map as possible. You know, James, Max, Jason on the desk, all talking about this beforehand, saying that, you know, there is going to be a lot of space on the map that you're going to have to cover. Not so many scouting positions now can be taken for these teams, just in the early game at least, just in case you get caught off guard by a team that's in the vicinity that you maybe wouldn't think would be there before. Though we do have Vampire Esports, they are doing their usual drop down towards Ferry Pier, Quarry, and Primors, really taking things wide at the beginning of this game.
Yeah, a little bit of a late dropout, sure, but it was fairly close by to the plane path, right? So they will have plenty of time to be able to navigate and get things sorted for themselves moving forwards on their northerly movements that will have to come through as the circle pops. So it looks like Falcon already in competition with Morph. The top of the hill currently occupied by Morph.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult here for Morph to actually... well, it's very easy for Morph to pick up on this one because Falcon's drop is a little bit further up towards Yaz, honestly. So Morph drop out early, get the catch on Falcons. Already taken one player from alone down here. Does get res back up into the fight, though. So not quite elimination coming through just yet. But Donuts USG actually currently have 2 points already.
Yeah, they're starting to pop off. I mean, looks like they've managed to find themselves a little bit of a spot. Falcons, as we're talking about, rezzed up in a little bit of cover. Presence known, though, between those two teams on that split area. Never alone. Has his team. Yep. Seems to play to the name. But look at this. You've got Box Gaming with some trouble.
Yeah, Box dropping right on the coastal side, and it's VGS trying to pass by them in vehicles. Now, VGS have 2 spots. It's up towards Severny as their secondary, Lipovka as their primary. Not able to get to any of them. So this is so awkward, but this is now time for Box to try and show some dominance. They regrouped around Break and Soaz after their decent PMGC. I think it was World League. Now they really need to show their stuff here after losing a couple of players and reforming.
Nearly perfect nade there coming through from Break, but doesn't quite get the knock. They will have got that hit marker, that indication that there's a player close. They know there's a vehicle moved. Well, they still know that there's a player this close. Mini 14 with the 4X on the off angle for VGS. Should be pretty solid at holding down this ridgeline, but if 3 players from Box go down, it's going to be tough. Around the side, though, gives away the position, and it's an easy spray down for Box Gaming to pick up their first elimination of the game.
That's a really sick just run around there from the team. Very fantastic stuff overall. VGS just crumbling. Obviously not able to get either of their drum spots in this game. And they just fumble for it. And this is what the 18-team lobby does to you. You know, you try and head to a spot that you think may be free, but it's just not.
Still bleeding out VGS down to 2. They will be taken on out. Donuts, they were contesting as well. Enigma Galaxy taking early losses. These are the 2 points that you were pointing out earlier.
Yep. Yeah, that is rough there. But USG, honestly, this is a team that really wanted to take Rozhok. You know, in all the practice games we see them play before this, they have always gone Rozhok here. Just looking at anything on my drops in terms of statistics, you know, 4 Rivals was the other team that was going to head over here. But in fact, you know, Enigma Galaxy tried to challenge out. Usually they're the Pachinki team, so maybe they dropped just slightly short. USG had to go a little bit further. And just on the way, they picked up a couple of points.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
Certainly if you're a USG fan. Falcon, 4 players in a vehicle. not advisable. They're heading towards Yasnaya Poliana as well, which is currently occupied by Morph. On this northern rotation, they are behind the game. Morph on the western side of Yasnaya right now. They will be holding down a lot of those buildings, a lot of those compounds. Hopefully they're going to spot the Falcons' approach, right? It's a very open field. If you're looking that way, you will be seeing them. They're only in one vehicle as well, which means that if you're taking some pot shots, you might even be able to get a couple of eliminations there.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a real chance for it. Now, VGS, you know, broken and battered, heading up still past Damwon Kia, who've still gone for that apps school split. It's a little tighter this time, though, and I respect that from Damwon Kia. James on the desk was talking about, you know, how really they wanted to keep things survival-based. Get towards the end of the game. It's not about huge eliminations, just consistently putting up those placement points. Now, that's going to give you a good average point over in the PMWI, but 3 days, you do need to strike out a little bit. Donuts USG getting these initial 2 points and also claiming Rozhok straight away. This is fantastic for them. And Donuts USG, they've come out on top in Japan at the moment. Even in the PUBG Mobile showdown between Korea and Japan, they were a full 10 points ahead of anyone else in that lobby right at the top. So really fantastic stuff from Donuts USG so far.
Hopefully spinning around, turning their opponents' heads whenever they can. Morph, I think they have spotted Falcons. Falcons, you can see, still with a little bit of damage on board. That might have been from earlier, probably still healing that one up. Never Alone was the player who was already knocked by the enemy team. I don't know if it was Morph, actually. I have to go back and watch that again. But Falcons did get knocked. Oh, it was Morph from up the hill. That was the first engagement that they had. So they did already do a little bit of damage. It looks like they will not leave each other alone for now. VGS down to 2 players. They've spotted back-to-back on the ridge line. It looks like, back-to-back just want to take up position.
Yeah.
And see whatever vantage points they can try and claim.
This is fairly interesting as well because Regan's trying to head in the direction of Morph. These are 2 teams that drop in Yasnaya. Regan's with a Yasnaya South Kameshki split, but Falcon's trying to take up this position as well over in Yasnaya. So a lot of contention on this eastern side of the map. I know that, you know, 52 Esports, they've tried to take Stalba and then South Yasnaya as well before, but right now they're right on the western coast at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they've changed it up. I mean, to be fair, there have to be some changes, right? In this lobby, it's a new mode that these teams won't have played with 18 teams in it, right? Mm-hmm. It is seemingly a small difference, but it absolutely will have an impact, as the desk covered previously. So we'll have to see what impact that actually has, because right now, we haven't seen much more than 1 or 2 hot drops, right?
Well, what I will say, you know, is that people have been very stubborn on their drop spots. And even just from the small research that I was able to do, I say small, no, modest, small research they were able to do about their drop spots beforehand in this tournament, you know, a lot of these teams have gone for these drop spots regardless of how south that playing path was. So, you know, we could have this gentleman's agreement going on from a lot of these teams. It's like, these are our spots, we can't go away from them. So secondary spots just really aren't too available anymore. And for that reason, if you get a really, really bad playing path, you could be in for a very bad game.
The playing path on this one was very south, and the circle did shift up north. And I'm looking at the teams that have made that journey north early, and I'm looking at 4 rivals, right? All the way up in Severny. Right at the top of this circle now, playing from their northern bastion. Stalwart Esports on the southeast of the circle, just about crossing in. One of the favorites of this tournament right now, Blank.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't have too many notes on this team just because they play things so clean, and there's only so many ways you can write clean, to be honest with you. So I was very, very impressed with Stalwart. I think so is the desk. You know, they're set for a fantastic PMWI, but we could see some rising stars, some rising countries just come out of nowhere and blast them out of the water, but we'll have to wait and see here. But for Stalwart, so far, things have been very good. I really do like this Novo drop for them in the beginning here. The edge of the map with 18 teams, it's going to be rough. There's not a lot of positions to play in, and with the loot that you get on board from Novo, with the 6 to 7 med kits that we saw already on just one of their players, you know, they'll be able to outlast that storm on the edge.
You'd hope so, with the caliber of teams that we're dealing with anyway. Although that works to their detriment as well, doesn't it? I mean, they have to face off against this super high caliber lobby. It's not going to be easy. Aiton take up the gas station. That's out to the west of Yasnaya Polyana. And Morph looking their way.
Yeah, so Morph just on that western road, right, with Aton just underneath them. And Yasnaya, for Morph, that being their original spot, they've actually moved west here towards that northern coast. So, you know, they're just looking out for any cheeky teams that try and hold on this north coast. And it's a great idea as well, because it's a very easy position to corner and cause mayhem from many teams, because you don't really want to cluster around this southern edge. There's so much space up towards Severny, especially with that southern playing path. This is a great position to, you know, take up and just chill out, take some time for yourself, especially if you dropped in South George. Like some of the teams, in fact, we've already seen TJB move up. Vampire Esports might want to head up there, so will 52 just in the South George bridge right now. So Morph could get a lot of points just from this singular position.
I'm looking at USG as well, right? You talked about earlier in the game. It's great. They've managed to get Rozhok. They've managed to lay claim to that area. But if they don't leave there early enough, it could prove to be their tomb, their mausoleum, right? If they aren't able to get across early enough, if it's a northern shift, they could really be scuppered.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can take every one of these teams and just imagine that they're elastic bands. And USG is that first elastic band. And you know when you create that elastic band ball, at some point it is going to break and explode. And poor USG is right in the middle. They are going to get, yeah.
Just get bigger elastic bands. I don't.
You could do. I'm working with very small elastic bands here.
They certainly have had that opportunity, probably more so than most of these other teams. Morph had to move a lot at the start. I mean, Enigma Galaxy might have had that opportunity, but unfortunately they lost 2 players early.
Ooh.
4 rivals jetting down from the north side.
You absolutely would as well. I mean, this is a great time for them. You know, you get such an awful playing path. You head up all the way to Severny, and the circle just continues to move north and north and north. And now at this point in time, they were being quite passive, but with this shift, they are absolutely sending it down into the circle, trying to take a position as fast as they can in one of the compounds. But it's TJB that's rocking up on 4 rivals who've just come to this position.
GK First leading the charge, getting first opening and doing it brilliantly. Living up to the name. First elimination for the TJB squad now. 4 rivals in the corner, backed up to the back building here. The height advantage in favor of TJB. Morph over the ridgeline as well. Watch out for that scout. Watch out for the third party if this fight goes on too long. The off angle is there for 4 rivals. You could see that in the minimap on the top right. They have got those sightlines to control, but Lin's moving forwards as well, putting pressure on 4 rivals, forcing them out of this compound, of this cover. They want to try and catch them. They don't quite have the off angles, not just yet, but with that nade, jumper taken low. 4 rivals behind the vehicle. Lin out first. Zhao soon to follow, looking to go out wide. Will they spot the player? They should have caught sight of that one, and those bullets will certainly give the game away. The gunshots ring out, but not finding the knock. Jumper now in more danger. Swings around the corner. Lin sprays, but the Scar doesn't quite land it. Half HP, and it's spotted. There is the off angle. Tingsker finds what TJB are looking for. 2 players from 4 rivals are down.
Really incredible stuff, and yeah, I'm loving to see the new Scar love coming through, the most recent buffs for the guns coming into the game. You know, Scar being almost as good as the M4 now, if not better, depending in the hands. So really, really nice to see a little bit more variation in terms of that weaponry. Already another little knock coming through for Team Soul. But yeah, great stuff from TJB. Considering they were all the way over towards Hospital South George, that was one hell of a send that they made happen over towards this compound, which is now extremely central in this circle.
TJB firing for Enigma Galaxy, the first team to go down fully blank. They lost 2 players very early.
Yeah.
You kind of think, fair enough, go again.
It's a bit of a struggle, though, for Enigma Galaxy. It's not kind of the precedent you want to be setting as that team when everyone knows you as a survivalist. You are the Bear Grylls of the lobby, and it's just not working out for them here. Scry from Stalwart taking some shots over towards Wildcats. Already Ray going down. Defoe off in the distance, takes some pot shots back, but now it's the Wildcats having to regroup here and trying to make something work.
A moment, Wildcats heavily under fire for Stalwart on the south side of them, but there's a traffic jam to get further into the zone as the next circle pops heavily south as well. So it will be on their shoreline. But They have a lot of treacherous ground ahead of them.
Action eliminating Ray here.
Of course, if
Charles,
you guys want to earn points, you can complete daily mission. Once enough points are accumulated, you can tap on the rewards icon in the game to claim the corresponding reward. That's if you're watching enough of this PMWI.
you can participate in the event solo or team up with other players. That's absolutely fine. And you know what? Just like the players in the PMWI, teaming up could get you that reward just a little bit easier.
There's Vampire. You can see, you were talking about them earlier. They're swimming in the river right now. I always think that these river finishes in the middle section near that Rozhok crossing is one of the most brutal places that these circles can finish.
I mean, all these teams on the northern side are going to be dragged across sandpaper, basically, trying to get into this circle. It's so unfortunate because you assume it's going north here. TJB got such a nice position, and it swings back down south. Now, I want to see USG, the Japanese team, translate this because they've been given such a good opportunity here for a chicken dinner right at the beginning of the day.
Highton looking to guard them out. Currently on the eastern side of the circle, will stop that rotation north, stop that progression west. Make things difficult. Down one, ahead. You can see they're taking a couple of knocks from back to back. I think this is the circle where most of this impact to the 18-team lobby will be felt, although we are down to 62 players.
17 teams still. I did not expect this at this point in the game. Already 17 minutes in. It's absolutely nutty here. 52 esports do knock themselves, though. That is extremely unfortunate. They're coming from that western side. But Stalwart, we mentioned them. They were taking a fight versus the Wildcats, and this is where they need to play the edge game perfectly. They've been thrown a little bit of a lifeline here on the southern edge. See if they can make anything happen with it.
Stalwart taking shots really fast and strong rotation, I'd say, but Lightning does get caught there, unfortunately, for the spray down. And they are going to lose him at the wall up the top, back to back, have their Polo representative for the squad. As the nades start to ring out, they're not going full aggression just yet, Blank.
Now, if you want to get yourself the 2022 PMWI Gunskin and outfit, you know, we have a sale period going on through from the 4th of August through to the 13th of August. We have 50% off PMWI packs, and you get a set straight away in that time frame and 5 extra chances to draw the PMWI treasure chest.
And if you miss out on that first sale period, there is a second one from the 14th of September all the way up till the 15th of the next month, where you get 16% off PMWI packs. You get 6 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests.
Looking straight back at the game here, back-to-back have actually made it quite far from there. It was quite a difficult drop spot for them on that southern edge on the coast. Wildcats still in this one with 3 players. Surprisingly, you know, they took an absolute beating from Stalwart on that southeastern edge, but the circle is starting to close in right now. Directly on top of Rozhok. Oh, USG, yes please.
They're very happy about that, you're right. We talked about how it might be their mausoleum, but instead it's going to be their pedestal.
Action was happening, especially towards like the middle stages of the game. But we can see here, I mean, TJB, again, a team that we've seen quite extensively when it comes to Western Europe, right? We saw them initially when they're known as Panda, the Unicorns of Love, then TJB, a team who does, you know, decently well when it comes to PMPL.
Yeah.
When they move into regionals, they seem to struggle.
It was like there was a bit of a conveyor belt for TJB to get some eliminations here in this game. Given the circle and where it shifted north of that river position, TJB had that 2-2 split already in place to greet anybody coming their way. So some nice eliminations for them to start off the tournament.
We've seen right now the perfect breach coming out from Vampire here, just pushing right onto Donuts. And actually, I would say Vampire, in terms of being opportunistic, were 10 out of 10. They waited for Donuts to regroup as a full squad away from their 2-2 split. They see that position, instantly send it forward to take that spot.
And a very difficult thing about Rozhok is its multi-tiered layers of where the buildings are, those angles that you can take against some of these.
Go into Miramar in game number 2. The plane takes to the skies over the desert once more.
So immediately heading up here, Los Leones can pick up a lot of these teams in this current playing path that we will be seeing on your screens very, very shortly. And I feel like I'm telling the future right now. That's because I absolutely am. So A couple of teams could drop it towards Los Leones. There's not too many teams that I've seen so far that have been dropping in Los Leones exclusively, but that can hold at least 3, which will alleviate some of the problems, especially with Miramar being such a large map anyway.
We head into the game. You can see now the playing path that we've been seeing from the southeast side up to La Cobreria. Seeing where teams drop out. And of course, the first time this is going to be played at the top level with 18 teams. Keeping an eye on those drops like a hawk.
Absolutely. And with 6 of these teams dropping exclusively in Picado and El Pozo, honestly, everywhere else that teams want to go to should be absolutely free. So just looking at this one in particular, Impala for Wildcats, this is a place that they love to go. They're already dropping out in that location already. So this seems fantastic. You know, honestly, I've seen a fair few matches from Wildcats as well where playing path has been absolutely diabolical for them going to Impala, yet they still go to Impala. They love it there. So this is a great start for them here on Miramar. Perhaps, you know, maybe they can shore up some of those issues that maybe they had over on Arango, where things just really did not go their way versus Stalwart.
Puerto Paraíso currently being held by VGS as they dropped out really very early. Down one, Kia headed further southwest. I imagine they're going to be moving over towards Minas de Baía, Valdemar, on that southwestern edge. But Box Gaming and Team Soul look at a clash in Picado. Only 2 teams at the moment in very close proximity in this location. Neither team yet taking a knock. But look at that very forward position from one of the players from Box. I didn't quite catch the name there, but they are absolutely in the lion's den amongst Seoul, Bensu, with players all around. Omega on that outskirt has the back fall out for Bensu, has a vehicle, not a vehicle, a weapon as well in hand. Do they know that there's a player here from Seoul?
Picado can hold 2 of these teams, but you do have to be constantly on a swivel here, John, to make sure that no one's creeping up behind you. Box Gaming, very certain on positions that they want to hold around this map. Trisme with the M249, already with a very heavy-hitting weapon, which could be very dangerous should it come to close quarters with these teams inside these compounds. But it would look like Regans as well as Aton Esports have dipped from this location. You can see Regans on our screen, at least on the map feed. You got DD as well as one other player in Los Leones alongside with Aton Esports, actually. So this is very, very interesting. Regans have north and Atons have south side of Los Leones. So this works out exactly what I was talking about earlier, that Los Leones is massively free. And it looks like Regans and Aton happy to not go Picado, not go to that usual position, and instead take a safer spot here towards Los Leones.
Really just a bit of a standoff for Team Seoul and Box Gaming right now in Picado. They have extricated themselves from one another, although Bensu's still pretty close by. A couple of shots have been landed as well between the 2 teams. But, of course, it's not just the teams that are going to be getting stuff done here. Of course, you have the opportunity to get the gun skin and outfit for the PMWI from the 4th to the 13th of this month. 50% off PMWI packs, and you can get a set straight away with that, as well as 5 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests.
And if you can't take advantage of that, next little sale period we do have is from 14th to the 15th of September. So that's 14th this month through to 15th of September. That's 16% off PMWI packs, and you get 6 chances to draw those PMWI treasure chests. So make sure you are getting on that early to reap the rewards. But if not, there's still chances ahead of you.
And of course, you can complete daily missions to earn points. And once enough points are accumulated, you tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding reward.
If you want to participate in the event solo or team with other players, that's absolutely fine as well. But teaming up, that could give you an extra little chance and make the reward to get a little easier. So make sure you tell all your friends about it and get them on board.
Goodness me, it looks like Bensu and...
Actually, they're mates.
I don't think so. I do not think that they will wait 1 second after seeing one another to try and make it all the worse for them. To stand off. Soul has backup, though. If actually just waiting for a team, those are his mates, right? And so if he pushes in whilst he has that backup, you can trade it off, right? That's what you're really looking for. It's the value of a team. You saw Hector there on the sidelines as well with a nice vantage point to get an off angle. Watch for those players pushing around that flank side. We hop on board with Nigma Galaxy, though, as they are vibing on around in El Pozo, the only team to actually drop up there.
Yeah, so this is the one that we were curious about. USG for Donuts were very, very hell-bent on taking Rozhok on Arangel here, but they have given up El Pozo. You know, they're happy to give it to another team. You know, Enigma Galaxy, yeah, they took 2 points off them last game, ruined their Arangel, so they'll throw them a coin just this one time. Instead, heading up towards El Azahar on that northeastern side, but no one else is here, so this is a very viable drop for them. Looking at down one, who also another El Pozo team, they're down towards Valdemar, so they'll take that up on the western edge. They will have to contend with back-to-back, who do love to go for a southern rotation, but it's TJB coming in from Chumacera to ruin their day.
Yeah, they take one of the players from back-to-back down. Early scouting, losing a player, not ideal on Miramar. But sadly, it's the risk you run. Team Seoul looking to put the pressure onto Box. This is a fight. The initiative is being taken by Team Seoul here, Blank. They are choosing this fight. They are making this one happen. Box Gaming looked like they were content to sit back a little bit. Maybe it's a strategy. Maybe it's aggression through passiveness, right? Allow them to move to you. Allow them to make those missteps.
Well, way back in day, it was always very hard to break the box formation. That was always the very, very difficult thing to get through. And right now, Box are happy to sit in this building. Now, back-to-back, just quickly going back to that last fight there between TJB as well as back-to-back. You know, they actually really struggled with this in the finals of Spring 2022, is that on our angle particularly, they would send one scout out and lose that scout very, very early on, dropping them down to 3 players. Already, this is becoming a problem here on Miramar. A lot of these other teams keeping it very, very tight, but Bensu finds one of the players trying to slip through the cracks, but that's not going to happen. The box formation is tight.
It is absolutely on the ball. Really, really nice stuff there. Omega a little bit too far forwards. No backup really from Team Seoul on that angle, and a nice opening. And look, Box Gaming move forwards. They re-establish that perimeter. They reclaim this territory. There is a sideswipe potential for Team Seoul if they get that spot, but there's a backstab. Morpher here, over the hill, and it's just Frenzy for the time being, but he has reinforcements coming from the north. Break looking to put this fight into gear now as Team Seoul are on the back foot. Around the side, the reload needs to come through. A lot of damage to Bensu, but it's not enough to get the knock. Break, however, finds Goblin. Akshat now flagging for Team Seoul. 3 players alive for Box as they've lost 1.
It was actually Regans from the western side that took the knock onto Box. And this was the team that originally liked to play Picardo on that southern edge. And they've just taken a little bit of time in Los Leones, sweep back up here, and ready to reclaim Picardo for their own, knowing that this was going to be a hotly contested spot. Most likely 2 teams locked together. And now they're going to take advantage of this. Very good from Regans.
Seoul really suffering under this pressure from Box Gaming. 3 elimination points already found. Losing 1, you feel like you're going to take that for now. I feel like that might lay claim to Picardo for them in the future Miramars that we're going to see. If they're lucky, we'll see if Team Seoul want to try and vie for that again. But as you say, RSG, Morph, both moving in from both sides of Picardo.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a squeeze going on here, but it does seem like China is really trying to take a nasty little split. You can see it on your screen right now, where it's just coming down from the hills in Picardo. 52 Esports have taken a knock there. They're right on the western side. I believe that is to Nigma Galaxy. So Nigma Galaxy trying to pick up some more points. Ralph, though, right on the eastern side, he's looking for a compound for the rest of the team to stay, but they're busy with 52 Esports right now.
Looks like 52 Esports are just going to try and keep moving down south. You can see them all mounted up in those vehicles on that western edge. Monte Nuevo, the central focal point of this next circle, just a little bit further out east. It's good for back-to-back right now, who have a lot of that sort of area, despite them losing a player early. If TJB, with GK first moving in there now, can take position there as well on the eastern side, TJB will also be in a phenomenally strong spot.
So back-to-back able to, regroup just a little bit here in there. And it's so unfortunate because we really are dropping into their original drop spot right now in Monte Nuevo. I don't think it was necessary to send one down south, but this is something they've done before. I think with 18 team lobby, it's not so wise anymore taking those ridge lines because there's going to be a lot of teams there. It's not as safe to be dangling one of your players down on the south edge of the map. VGS trying to make their way up behind teams like Damwon from Valdemar. They are just neck and neck here with TJB. You can see them on the screen. Damwon Kia trying to find a little place to call home.
Damwon Kia moving up from the south side. Adriera being positioned on now. A lot of scouts, as you were talking about, getting picked off, right? It seems like so far we've seen 3 one-player losses on Box Gaming, to be fair. That was in a compound fight, so 2 scouts really being picked off right now. 52 and back-to-back, both losing one of those players. We'll see if that comes back to bite them. Both of them a little bit on that western side. I mean, you've got 52 certainly a lot heavier in there, but they're moving in on the northwestern end of Monte Nuevo. Neymar
just about lives here for Falcons, but will be knocked by missile from USG. Makes it happen, looks for some more, but it is an off angle coming through from Falcons. Here on the home turf, trying to keep the rest of their team alive.
Needs to choose who to display the flank to there to get the heal off, but Missile stays alive for now. Yusuf trying to get those shots in. Mikun does get behind cover, takes the spray, but doesn't land more than just the one, just a tickle, and needs to heal up as well.
Yeah, Omikun just has to walk away from that one. Falcons able to send them back just a little bit. They're still both on this northeastern edge. 4 rivals moving down as a 2-2 split between El Pozo as well as Crater Field. So they're trying to get a lot of information gathered nice and early on. Vampire Esports coming down from Puerto Paraíso. They're heading towards Minas del Valle. Honestly, they're going to be moving up through Chumacera in a second, but they've opted to stay outside of the circle and in the blue to make sure no one catches them on this long rotate.
On your screens right now. Holding the ridge on a line. Trying to keep their position safe. South side is the Vampires. They've yet to push on in, yet to start the frag fest that we saw from them last game. The question is it repeatable or is it an Erangel special?
Is it an Erangel special? That is the real question here. John, Nigma Galaxy still central at the moment.
They're right in the middle there, just a little bit further north, and in fact the circle does shift down a little bit further south. And they will be looking to move with that circle. Right in the middle of it, TJB. They have absolutely slap-bang center circle right now. Damwon Kia, who have been waiting in the wings for their position for a while now, are going to be looking to push on in and maybe try and take control of that central area as well.
Yeah, they're looking to pick up that central area at the moment, back-to-back, moving down at the moment. Nigma Galaxy taking a little while to head into this location, but we are really getting a little bit tough with all these teams crunching up towards the middle. Wildcats, though, coming from Impala on the eastern side, moving through Chumacera at the moment. Seoul with just 1 player remaining, Hector. Box still yet to break away from Picardo at the moment. It's a bit weird, but it is Stalwart actually moving down from Power Grid, just behind Keyed Esports.
I mean, maybe, you know, Box Gaming, they're playing with 3 now. They're just going to try and take things a little bit slower, play that edge, potentially. I mean, it's a difficult position, right? You're playing with 3 now. You've lost that ability to really scout as effectively. With more players, more rotations becoming dangerous, you're not really willing to take those chances, potentially. But they do actually strike out. They move down southwest from their old position, leaving Hector in the dust, and they take that eastern flank of the circle.
Not a bad position for them to be in at the moment for Box Gaming. Obviously down to just 3 players, but 3 elimination points, you'll take that any day of the week, especially here on Miramar. Now, what really can't happen here for a lot of these teams, is Vampire Esports. They know that they're being headhunted right now. If they start to get ahead once again in this match, things become extremely difficult for a lot of these other teams to start catching up if they continue that momentum going forward. Right now, though, they are really squeezed tight on that southern edge, just around Chumacera, with one other team in Wildcats coming in just behind them. Schweppes from Vampire Esports, though, will have the bead on Wildcats, where the rest of the team in 3 are just ahead of them towards the north, so they should get info on this nice and early.
Yeah, on a 3-1 split, or maybe even a 1-2-1 split from Vampire Esports. Just taking a look at where they are sat on the map. They are yet to fully regroup. They did play a lot of that Northern Rostock at some points. They played in that 2-2 split, so they are used to playing a little bit more of that split play style. Certainly that would be the evidence from the last game anyway, and it certainly worked.
Another look at the map here. It's just getting real struggle bus. And, I did not expect this whatsoever, but we still have 18 teams. Vampire Esports, though, Schweppes in the back line, stays alive, but it's Wildcats who are taking shots, and this is the info that Schweppes is able to provide the rest of the team. Next circle, pops in, heads down south, so Vampire Esports still very happy. Looks low, does hit the shots onto Schweppes, will take him down, and that is Vampire Esports down to 3, but there's still more shots along the way. It's Fluketh once again.
Really solid backup there. The off angles perfectly found. Heals needing to come through from the Wildcats, and they are yet again suppressed on this ridgeline. Really difficult, but Vampire Esports looking to potentially be down to 3. They've lost their Schweppes on the outside there, and they will be at 3. They had 4 in that previous game, but the circle moves to them.
I mean, if they get another circle shift, though, they are in a real safe spot. Like, look how hard it is to approach these buildings. The only issue they might fall into is without those 4 players, it does become a little harder to pick up on all these angles. Again, though, Aton Esports is their difficulty going forward, and it looks like Vampire Esports know that this is a position on the map that they need to watch out for. Really good stuff from Fluketh. His shots have been on point. He's been looking all over the map at the moment, really keeping it clean here for Vampire Esports.
I mean, that was one of their characteristics of the last game, right? Snappy engagements, I think Matt said on the desk. Making those clean engagements. That's exactly what you want to be looking for. Even better on Miramar.
Damonkia still struggling to just find anywhere that's super concrete for them. It's on the edge of this hill at the moment. 52 Esports coming into play here. Enigma Galaxy, one of their players, I believe it was Hamodi, did go down here. They're just trying to get down through the circle on that northern side.
It looks like 3 of them are down. They're losing players left and right. Enigma Galaxy suffering heavily. They had not the best of starts, losing 2 players early in the last game. The first team to go down, in fact. I think it's just Freak alive for them now. At the back as well. Not really a chance to get these reses. Going down first twice in a row. Not the way you want to start your tournament. Certainly would be a disaster. Team Seoul, though, seem to be survivors. They were on 1 for the longest time in that first game. And out they go. Yet again, first team eliminated.
A miserable start here for Enigma Galaxy. Really not fun. But you know what, John? There's still Sandhawk ahead for them. And honestly, that is the map where they prevail the most.
They know how to survive. They know how to get it done. But there's more frags on the hillsides as Donuts USG looking to move up past 4 rivals, and only Jumper can stand in their way now. 52 as well in the back line. Proving to be difficult to deal with as Jumper spotted away. That was it. I don't even know who that was, but
Virtual Gaming Squad took him down there. Good stuff.
Morph drop a nade right on top of one of their own teammates, but they take an enemy down in the process. I'm not sure if that's worth it at this late stage.
Damonkia, though, you see, they have just been keeping an eye out all over the place, and this ties right back into what the desk was saying at the beginning of the day. They are a survivalist team. They're going to try and see how far they can get, but 52 Esports still trying to lay claim around this area.
I agree. An applause ringing out there. Not too sure what that was for, but
52 Esports.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, to be fair, absolutely. Damonkia, they lose Forest on the hillside. You're not going to be able to get him back up. Daku spots Sung as well. A lot of Damonkia struggling to survive. Fabian and Junie, though. A formidable duo, to be sure. Fabian takes half HP, but Excellent backup coming through to be able to shut that one down. Vaz taken out there. Junie, he still has the DBS.
Yeah, it's Korean meta at the moment. All of them use it over in the Korean PMPL. It's pretty insane, but they make it work massively.
TJB take hold of a compound, eliminating back-to-back from that stronghold. They've had a central position for quite a while now, and they will have to move a little bit further south. At the moment, I'm looking at RSG with that central, with pretty much one of the few compounds in this next circle play.
This is very unfortunate for the team from America, just struggling just a little bit here in the PMWI. Stalwart, though, looking for another consistent game here. That's what I want to see from Stalwart, and we could get some more hope into this team. Action, though, coming over the top and just descends upon VGS. Like we've seen nothing before. Goodness me, swoops in. Talons are strong and sharp. There's nothing you can do against them.
And they should be able to get everyone back up as well. So a full force Stalwart, definitely something to worry about. Pain run down there after the knock. Down one Kia move up to Daku. Pops out the window, spots Fabian. Needs to be worried about the teammates from the off angle though, but finds the cover from the shack. Through the windows, the bullets pour in. And it's going to be a tall order to get anything done. But Fabian goes down. In the meantime, 52 are eliminated. However, that will slow down one Kia on that northwest flank.
Yeah, TJB have been harassing this team the entire time, and they might just have to leave Fabian behind. Lin moves up. Tends to be the first player to move up a lot of the times for TJB. Sometimes it goes wrong, sometimes it goes marvelously. It's hard to say here with Lin. He's really kind of shaky as a player in terms of being extremely good, or sometimes just not so great.
Volatility, that's really a characteristic of his gameplay. Sung and Junie, two players for Damwon Kia. Wildcats under fire as well from Falcons. They're trading 1-for-1 right now on the knocks. X-Ray definitely resable here. And so is Yusuf.
It's a very awkward playing field, but Junie pulls out the DPS. Lin goes down, but it's TJB. They bring it back nicely there, though I would have been very, very scared at the cracking sound that DBS makes as he comes around the corner. And that's why the Koreans take it. Just those singular moments where you can surprise a team coming through.
Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough to see Damwon Kia safe. TJB Esports EU able to put that pressure down, get that res on as well, get themselves back to 4 and move down south further on. But Falcons from the sides, only powerful getting knocked, and they are fragging out. The Wildcats cannot stand up to the pressure, but they're now under fire from TJB on the north side. Doesn't matter though, they are absolutely cool, calm, collected. The Wildcats taking shots every which way as well with their last player X-Ray.
This is a real chance here for the Saudi Arabian team. They're close to the circle as well, but it's STE who's ahead of them. That's the difficulty. Atan Esports, though, keep taking casualties on this southern edge. Falcon Esports really do need to start thinking about making a move, but they've got to figure out where the other teams are. Falukov somehow keeps moving down that hill with the quick feet in action, but it's not enough. Ravenclaw.
Whoa. Able to do the job, able to get it done against Donuts USG. The off angle still dangerous. This should be completely broadside for Bruno right now, but I don't think he's taking that position. I don't think he's pushing up. He knows that his position's known. Maybe just not going to peek it. Not going to take that chance of Vampire up to 2. Falcons look for the crash into the compound. Stalwart here. RSG here as well. As Aiton do lose that last player. RSG suffering now under pressure from Stalwart.
This is terrible timing here for STE to try and claim this building that Regans are currently in. Falcon, they just come in at just the right time. Fantastic stuff for them. Laying in the utility. Regans already finds a nade over the top, and never alone.
Falcons.
It's on to Pika. The util is coming in clutch.
The nades coming through from Falcons as well for the third party. They're going to be able to take hold of this compound if they keep going. Phenomenal performance on this crash from them, but TJB have oversight. It's difficult to handle now. It's difficult to stymie that pressure. But they will try and lock down those angles. Only action in the compound.
This is what I said for Saudi Arabia. They had to move right now into those buildings, and they took that call, and they made that call in the moment very, very quickly, dropped the utility in, and STE and Regans completely blindsided by the absolute decimation that was laid upon them by the Molotovs, the grenades. Even I saw smoke get thrown in there as well.
Look at that. The replay there from Ravenclaw as well. Phenomenal. A duo for Vampire Esports. 7 elimination points, looking to take out the Wildcats as well. It's only X-Ray. TJB have an angle, potentially onto Ravenclaw, but he's just storming forwards. Shut down as the nades go long, but Fluketh in the backline, stung in the back as Tingskur able to handle the Vampires. Van Helsing rides.
Good stuff here from TJB. Keep it very, very steady on this hillside. Wait for the players to reveal themselves before they do lock in the action. And now it's them looking across the way at Falcon. It all depends on this next circle. Falcon will love for it to end on them, but they have to move. This is horrific. But Stalwart, though, action still in it. He's ready and waiting in the wings. And I don't know if Falcon know if he's here or not.
6 elimination points, 3rd place guaranteed. Stalwart again with a consistently good result. That's what we're looking for from this team. That's what we want to see, and strong elimination points to boot. Fantastic stuff. But right now, as you said, it's between TJB and the home team here in Saudi Arabia and Riyadh, Falcons.
This is going to be really difficult, though, because TJB, you know, they can't lose any of these players they've sent to the edge side, but this is a very strong split that they're currently employing. It's going to be difficult for any sight lines not to be open to these guys when Falcons do start to move out of this building. So really, really tough stuff. Action just needs to hold his ground, stand his ground here.
Oh, I think he spotted a little shuffle there from Powerful. GK first, trying to suppress those angles. There's the first angle. TJB have such good vantage points, like you were saying.
I know what Falcons are trying to do here. They're trying to get rid of action, but he is just throwing him for a loop, takes so much damage, and finally goes down to Never Alone. So they do secure that 2nd place. Great stuff from Falcon. Now they need to fight back.
No answer towards GK first. Never Alone taking heavy tick damage from the blue, down to 3. Damar gets res, so Yusuf and Damar, a duo in the forefront. But TJB storming down this hillside, nading through the window, putting everything under pressure, putting Falcons to the test, and 2nd place will be a good finish. They wanted first, but it was not to be. TJB moving through the building, through the window, and it is TJB with game number 2 on Miramar. Moment's time in the middle of it. You must know, you know.
I know the Lobster. It's going to be drenched in players in a second. It's going to be a big, big problem for Bootcamp. Alternatively, everyone could leave Bootcamp alone, and it's not worth it here in the 18-team lobby, especially with there being so little landmass here on Sandhawk in particular.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tricky to find those places, to find that area, to call your own. And already, teams starting to drop out. I'm looking at the Wildcats heading north. They play a hot-in split normally on the Sandhawk drops. We saw that in those practice games earlier. Looks like they're not going to change that. And let's look at the bootcamp teams. Down 1 passing over it right now. Down 1 Kia and Stalwarts potentially looking to land. I think Down 1 Kia are going to head further north given their speed. Back-to-back drop a little bit short. Actually, Aton go to Painan right in the middle of that map. 1 team in bootcamp. Only Stalwart right in the middle of it. Seoul spread out in the hills to the east.
I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't challenge Stalwart out for bootcamp either. I think they pretty much just win that every single time. I think you have to out-macro Stalwart just because they are so strong in an individual fight. TJB and Nigma Galaxy down towards Sami, though. This is quite interesting. Nigma Galaxy usually do a Sami split anyway, so it's TJB kind of encroaching on the territory. Now, Nigma Galaxy, the problem for them is they love all of Sami to themselves to pick up as many meds as possible, but they might be getting into a fight early that they don't want to take, and TJB, once again, from Miramar, causing problems for Nigma Galaxy.
It's really not fun. But I'll tell you what would be fun. If you complete daily missions to earn points for the PMWI Watch Together, once you get enough points accumulated, tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding reward.
Well, that's GZ going down for Regans, but for that event, you can participate solo or as a team. And remember, playing solo is absolutely okay, but teaming up could get you some more rewards.
Certainly would make it easier, but we're going to be getting into this game. Losing a player early for RSG Sandhawk could be disastrous. For Regans Gaming, GZ, as you said, Blank, goes down, right? Sandhawk, the most important map to keep all 4 alive in terms of needing that firepower on your feet, right? You need to have it all up. You need to have that ready in your arsenal, but Lightning goes down as well. Team Seoul for India. finding 2 so far. Goblin does get knocked in response. It's only him in that little outpost there, but there's 2 players for Regan's Gaming. They're going to be slow just a little bit, but I don't think Goblin is long for this world. Will be taken down. Regan's Gaming. Harry.
Regan's obviously abandoning that boot camp drop. Have to go somewhere else.
They will have to try and find something, make something of their position. In the meantime, we see TJB and Enigma Galaxy split apart just a little bit. Neither of those teams have lost players just yet, so they didn't really want that fight. I mean, TJB, if I'm not mistaken, also kind of tried to play the southwest side, right, in the European tournaments, and try to play from that area. So that hot drop maybe could have been foreseen just a little bit. But Enigma Galaxy, for the first time, don't lose a player on that initial engagement.
My
back
God.
to back. How?
Oh, that is shameful.
You'd think with a DBS, one of those would have landed.
Especially when you're laid down with the DBS on the drop of a player. You hear that, like, 4 shots went out there, and he still did not go down.
There was 6, wasn't there?
6 shots, so maybe he was just shooting his toes off. That wasn't quite enough to take him down. He's now running on his, basically, ankles. He's still alive, though, so it's fine.
Just ankle bones, just like, I mean, it's probably quite soft earth in Sanhok,
yeah,
right?
He has
it's quite
speed
humid
now, right?
Yeah, he's got traction on the hills.
Yeah, he's just flying forward. 4 rivals moving up towards USG's position. Missile did go down for Donuts, trying to get up the stairs. Just about makes it, though, but that Molotov should seal the deal, but go short, unfortunate.
I think it just hit the eaves there and bounced down. The missile's not going to get rezzed here for USG Donuts. 4 rivals should be able to pick up that point lickety-split. And there it is. The nade seals it. Their fate will be run from here. 4 players, 1 elimination for 4 rivals.
Back-to-back, trying to play down towards the west side of Quarry with Aton Esports as well. So Aton giving up Camp Bravo to USG. USG so far have just kind of had their drop spots to themselves. You know, they couldn't take El Pozo, but they took El Azhar to themselves. Now taking Camp Bravo. Yes, 52 Esports are coming in from Mongnai, but it's not a big deal for them, though. USG have got real pick of the litter so far on all these maps.
I was just looking at some of the other drop spots because we focused a little bit on the engagements that we saw on screen, but I was looking at the Wildcats. I'm not sure if they dropped initially there, but they didn't actually opt to put a player on the eastern shoreline, right? They didn't opt to have that presence or keep that presence there, certainly. I'm not sure if they had that originally, but they have regrouped to that western shoreline near Hatin on the northwestern island. So they don't really have that strength or confidence in crossing potentially. They don't really know about the ground around Paradise Resort, which is currently being vacated by VGS.
Yeah, VGS taking this position for most of their Sandhawks already. Paradise Resort is their home. Hatin being, you know, the general spot that we would see Wildcats dropping in anyway on Sandhawk. Vampire Esports, though, taking shots onto Flukath here from TJB, who've really started to heat up here in this tournament.
I mean, certainly a good game last time around. Taking that chicken dinner. And they're pushing in. Vampire Esports, though, not a team to push over. This team has been absolutely on fire so far, as they were talking about on the desk, topping the tables right now. Top dogs. Or cats, if you prefer.
I do prefer, actually. Vampire Esports, so they did get that really nice Ruin split at the beginning of the game, and now they're really trying to get out of this difficult situation. They've had so much time to set up here in Ruins, and TJB completely taken them by surprise on the coast.
Excellent crossfire established there by TJB. 2 players going down. There is no chance you get them back up. Ravenclaw and Flukath now left. 2 players alive. The Vampire Esports maybe looking for a nade, some damage over Tingsker, but Xiao rezzed back up for TJB.
Ravenclaw would love to find at least one more knock here. Nade over the top, but as time goes down, but it's Flukath who have been really strong throughout all these games. Finds Lin, and that is a little bit of pressure taken off from him. He was right in the midst of all these players from Vampire Esports. So far, Stoned as well as Schweppes have yet to be eliminated. There is still chance for recovery here for Vampire Esports with Virtual Gaming Squad on the northern side, just coming down from Camp Alpha. This could be a third party.
But there is absolutely a clock ticking. GK First lands a beautiful shot to Fluketh on the ridgeline. GK First has been pivotal in this fight. He was the person who was part of the crossfire in those initial 2 knocks on the buggy players, and he's just taken down the 3rd member from Vampire Esports. This is GK First at his best.
It is very unlikely that Vampire Esports walk away with this one from any more than just one player. Now Ravenclaw is on the run, and TJB, they are hunting down this final player quickly behind him. Very good stuff so far.
One player alive, yeah. You just got to get out of that. Try and keep yourself alive. This is where the heal strat could come in. Right, for Vampire Esports, they could potentially try and just send Ravenclaw up to get as many first aids as you can. You're playing on that southwest side near Tambang. You can try and just loot up these compounds, grab as many meds as possible. Four boosters total, 2 first aids. You've got 10 bandages to see you through as well. Ravenclaw could potentially use that time. It's still early circles. Get loot, get first aids, and play for a survival game.
Yeah, as a single player, there is a lot you can do as a single player. So by no means is this over. Realistically, I think the person that won out the most between this engagement is Nigma Galaxy. The fact that TJB disengaged from Sami means that Nigma Galaxy had time with this new circle to head down towards Bantai, potentially up to Camp Charlie, and keep looting up some more of those meds. Ralph used to be the big healer for the team, but more recently it's been Lord doing a lot of it, so we will see who exactly decides to go for that one. But this next circle favoring Falcons once again, so another time to really put up those points, put up those numbers for Falcons themselves. But we will see what happens with Morph GGG still trying to make it happen here in this tournament.
A particularly alliterative Quarry Camp Cave Kampong finish is potentially on the cards here. As the southeast circle shifts in, more from the south coast like you were mentioning there, Blank. 52. Potentially getting spotted out by Donuts USG here. It's over towards the north side of Lakawi, on the north end of the circle. 52 trying to move down the coast.
This is a horrific spot to play from 52 Esports. I mean, I've dropped here before, and if you get some team or some players on this ridgeline looking down towards you, it is very hard to leave, even with just the 3 players that Donuts has.
2 versus 4 that they're on this ridgeline with, but it's not going to matter. Immediate knocks coming through, and 52 are torn apart, decimated. 5.2 now, Blank.
They just completely break down. It is very, very unfortunate. You're right. These guys got divided up with a couple of quick slashes coming through from the Japanese team, and now it's Pain running away. And you can tell that this team is absolutely in pain. They try and just get away from this kerfuffle. And honestly, that's what happens. And Donuts USG must have been trailing this team for a long, long time. And once you get on that downslope, you know, there's no cover whatsoever. Great angle taken by Omikun to really open up that engagement, especially having the confidence to do that 3v4 as well. They knew that they had the angles to make it happen. And those are the kind of points that you just need in this tournament to keep bumping up your leaderboard.
The circle's not going to hurt too much just now. So teams like Wildcats, who are very far north at the moment, leaving a player even as far back as Tap Mock, just passing Paradise Resort now that we saw Virtual Gaming Squad leave earlier. They are going to be okay for the time being. And they will have had plenty of time to loot up those meds, play for potentially that one out there. TJB as well, in the meantime, all the way out near Narkam, and Sami still has the last player from Vampire Esports.
And this is the difference between Nigma Galaxy, who dominates on a map like Sandhawk, and TJB, who tries to go for a heal strat here on Sandhawk. They're out in the blue so long. Nigma Galaxy tries to push in as far as they can into these circles before they start going for the heal strat. They already took the boat down from Bantai, headed over towards Dockside. Now they're going to move up, cause as much chaos as possible in these final circles with potentially 3 or 4 members. then drop one guy behind. He's not had to use any medical supplies all this time until he goes into blue, and that's what gives them the edge on any of these other healing teams. But they have such confidence, such good ideas of how all the other teams rotate to stay out of the way for as long as possible to make that happen.
Damwon Kia have taken a couple of knocks on that north side with 52 trying to move past. The next circle just about to shift on in.
All right, Vampires.
That's, okay. I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
All right, Vampires.
Okay, all right. Okay. A lot of this is, well, it's not, obviously it's not just Sandhawk stats. This is the first Sandhawk we played so far this tournament. They are going to be looking pretty healthy, especially after that first game. What was it, 26 limbs, 24 limbs?
24,
in the first game coming through. That's really just going to pump those stats. It's going to be a while before we don't see a Vampire up there.
Yeah, it's very, very crazy stuff so far coming through from Vampire. Honestly, it's just a case of, you raise from your coffin in the morning, easy peasy, back in the coffin at night. They're just slamming the lid on the first day already with that massive performance in game one. So really, really good stuff. Now, Circle centers up, which is very, very nice here for Enigma Galaxy. They can really just keep it easy on this southern edge.
Wildcats spot Damwon Kia and further hamper their progression down south. Junie looks for the retribution onto X-Ray. Sung's taken a lot of damage in the meantime, but X-Ray escapes unscathed there. A long spread out progression line for Wildcats, but there's the answer. Junie taken a knee there to Boran from the Wildcats. Starting to move forwards, wants to play aggressive. 2 players knocked for Damwon Kia now. Sung and Forrest standing.
Damwon just do not look confident. Honestly, we're so used to their playstyle of heading center very early and taking control of that. And it almost feels like they're afraid because of this 18-team lobby to actually go for something like that. But that's where they excel. They're really good at controlling those final circles, but they never have the opportunity so far. And I think this is something that might need to change over the next 3 games or potentially even coming into tomorrow. But will it be too late by then? We'll just have to wait and see. With Vampire Esports going out very early here, though, it does give a chance to some of these other teams at the top.
Forrest trying to heal up. It looked like Damwon Kia actually got all 4 of themselves back up. Okay, fair enough. They were allowed to res. The pressure not quite there from the Wildcats, but they will be known. They will know that this rotation is coming through. If there's a boat in Lakawi, you might even want to take that and sail down south. But even then, you got Enigma Galaxy. The absolute machines here on Sandhawk to deal with if you want to try and take that route.
Yeah, 2 points in 16th place to 18 points in 5th place with Box Esports. I mean, you can easily jump up a lot here. Freak stays behind at the moment, looking to pick up some more meds. Not sure if he'll regroup with the team. Honestly, they're able to, it's interchangeable, which their healer is at the end. It just very much, I was talking to Kalaris about this actually, and we were having the discussion. He was saying, it's very interchangeable who your healers are, particularly because, it's very different setups. You don't want to switch over weapon types that someone's more comfortable with. So you just give the guy who's got the most medical supplies, because it's easy to just splurge out a ton of first aid kits on the floor than it is to switch out entire loadouts.
The next circle just about to pop. It's really moving down towards Kampong, towards docks. See where the next one does fall. And it's fairly central, northwest, just to the east side of Quarry. Team Seoul, with their backs to Quarry, have a pretty solid position to hold, but they're most likely going to have to leave it in the next phase. Looking at Box Gaming as well, can they set up that compound? Can they set up the box fort?
That is the real question here at the moment. Already a 375 elimination meter-wise for Stalwart. Really, really good stuff. Stalwart's going to struggle, but they are quite far at the top of the leaderboard at the moment. I believe they're in 3rd place, just behind TJB at the moment. And yeah, there haven't been like massive standout games for them, but they're consistently there in 1st, 2nd place, 3rd place. They're just making it happen, and this is the consistency you want to see from a championship team. So 32 points just behind TJB and 33 at the moment, but they have to make it through the swampy marshes of Quarry.
Vivo keeps suffering heavily at the hands of back-to-back. We're doing a lot of work now. 2 players down and out for Vivo Key, the Brazilian representatives. Nades answering though, as Diego not having any of it. Polo Goes down to the nade. A lot of damage was put in on that push as well. J-Way spotted. More nades being popped over now by Diego, suppressing these angles. Look at the low health bars for back-to-back. Diego crawls on forwards, and it is bombardment. Nade after nade. Fire now burning away at the heels of back-to-back. Can they regroup here? That nade a little bit long, but it finds nearly getting the knock. Diego tears them apart, gets everything done, and back-to-back with 2. Take care of business.
Diego could not have made that look any easier. Dropped the smoke and then just through that sent the bullets whistling, including the grenades, and back-to-back have just had back-to-back bad games here in the PMWI. And USA just really want to step this up at the moment. We know that back-to-back can be good. They have stood tall in their region before.
Certainly look at a stand tall, and if you want to be competing with the best of them, you need to complete those daily missions, I'll tell you that, to earn points. Once enough points are accumulated, you can tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding reward.
You can participate in that event solo, or you can team up with other players. That's absolutely fine. You get some more rewards if you team up anyway. You've got extra chances there. And for 2022 PMWI Gunskin and Outfit, there is a sale period on currently from the 4th of August through to the 13th, and that is 50% off PMWI packs, and you get a set straight away and 5 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests.
And after that, you do miss that window, the 14th of August until the 15th of September, 16% off PMWI packs, and you get 6 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests. We're back into the game though, as Stalwart coming up against Team Seoul, who did, as I say, have their backs to the quarry. And are going to be looking to try and hold them off for the time being. A lot of damage sent, 1 res found, Omega spotted in the sideline. Stalwart still have all 4 there, still have them all available. Omega stands up and gets rebuffed immediately. Hector eliminated, swept aside. Can Stalwart stay alive? They will have to try and survive just that little bit longer.
Unbelievable stuff, great stuff coming through from them, and you can celebrate too with the regions and your team region as well. So the top 3 teams for a region will have the chance to win a prize, and it's a maximum of 1 award per user, and that's through from the 4th of August through to the 13th of August this month.
And if you're watching as well, you're contributing to the potential peak concurrent watch viewers of this stream. If we reach 100 million live watching, then everyone could get items in the 2022 PMWI Lucky Crate with a maximum of 1 award per user.
Please visit the in-game 2022 PMWI Watch Together event every day from the 11th of August for more information.
You can find that all out there. Box holding on the north side against Stalwart, who are still recovering from that fight and may not be able to do so. However, they might have done the work they needed to. Consistency, as we said, always about Stalwart is the name of the game. Keep those points nice and high, keep them tumbling over. A lot of eliminations coming through. Vampire finally taken down a peg. TJB with 1 player left coming off the back of the chicken dinner. Not ideal, but it's Box Gaming and Morph with all 4 players alive.
Stalwart still going strong with 2 though, which is very, very good, but this is a very good opportunity for Box Gaming. Saudi Arabia's Team Falcons, they only have 2 players. 1 player is down. There's potential to get them back up again, but they have been in the circle a long, long time. Look at this though, John. Enigma Galaxy out, 0 points.
Not good. Far from ideal. Taking a look around for healers out in the zone. At the moment, I see, as you say, Damwon Kia, right? Fabian healing, northeastern side. Maybe trying to just stay alive for as long as possible, and it might work. 8 teams remain, and so many of those have 2 or 1 player remaining. I think it's 6 of those teams. 4 of those teams have 1 player, 2 of those teams have 2.
Honestly, not all these teams have got many points. I think that, Vivo Keyed have got 8 eliminations so far, but realistically, we can say that's just from Diego's unbelievable performance, the masterclass he set upon us with the smoke play. Incredible stuff. Action, though, still on the ground. Looking for Box here. Does stand up. Doesn't quite take him down, but will look for more.
Gets the knock on the sidelines around the tree trunk. Action still in the fight, still alive, but for how much longer? Finally spotted, finally handled by Bensu around the edge, but there's backup. Potentially slowing down things for Box Gaming, and Pika's going to have to heal. 13 first aids, down to 12 now. That looks like they're going to heal out in the zone for Stalwart.
He's going out here.
No stims.
Big struggle for him. Like you say, no stims is very difficult. Zay moves up for Morph, and they have been having a bad time. Coming into this game with 0 points, right at the bottom of the leaderboard. Morph GGG, though, looking to make something happen. They have 4 players alive, and that really does spell a victory here on Sandhawk, especially when the rest of the teams are down 3, 2, 1, 1.
Look at that. You see the stims that currently on board for the last player from Star Wars are going to be there, so a little bit of time there. Damar also looking to heal out, but this is the last first aid kit for Team Falcons. It looks like a 5th place finish, unless someone goes down first, unless someone gets spotted. Diego eliminated out there. Still 1 player left for Vivo Key, but Box Gaming trying to roll down this hill against Morph. With 3 eliminations, they've been fairly quiet so far on that tally. But they're going to have to try and fight off against Box descending. Some nice angles. Bensu spotted, handled. Another knock on the backlines. Looks like this is going to be Morph all the way.
Oh
as they
my
spot
God.
yet another, and they are going to be able to take control of this zone. It's only the players out of sight that will be proving to be problematic in terms of finishing this game out. Cielo for Vivo Keyed and Pika for Stalwart Esports.
Morph will take those 6 eliminations and a chicken dinner any day of the week. Pika tries to jump into the blue, but won't quite make it in time as he falls. And Vivo
Hang on a minute.
will take
What the hell? Wait a minute. Oh, finally spotted. It looked a little bit dangerous
down.
there. But 3 of them go.
Also, they will have all the information from day 1 that they can go back, look on, and see, all right, how do we improve for day number 2?
Yeah, I feel like that first game was just a perfect storm for that performance of Vampire.
It was. And also how everything ended up being, how the rotations came in. Also, it's just, you know, it is so wild to have these semi-urban endings where some of the teams, they're coming out from the bridges or from the north side, they have to cross water and get against all these obstacles here, and they're just able to do so. But 7, we are ready with the second angle of the day and the 4th game. So we're basically halfway through now. We're going to have 3 more total games. And this is going to be a fun one. Also, a pretty good plane path here. We're starting over Georgia Pole, and we're going to go down towards the southeast over Military Island.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Des is going to be happy seeing this
Yeah.
gamepad. This is actually more likable to me. I'm interested to see what the first zone is going to be like and how these teams are going to be reacting. And another thing that Des was talking about, that Enigma Galaxy, like this is a team that a lot of us expected a lot out of. And right now, they're a team that's currently sitting just with 2 points, and they didn't have one of the best starts either. That was the first team that was eliminated in this tournament. I'm hoping they can turn it around here on this match.
I hope so too here. But we are seeing some teams jump out. I'm curious to see if we're going to see some of these famous hot drops here, or some of the contests on the cars potentially that could become deadly. And let's see how many teams also end up going over to the Military Island, to back-to-back, obviously going toward Farm and Milta. They're going to be pretty good on the eastern side. The question is also, are we going to have the circle? No, it's not going to be fine. We have a little bit of a chance here, 7. A little 20-25% chance that it could go south and be a real rough circle for these teams.
And this is when my toxic trait comes out. This is when I want to see that
Well,
excitement.
the worst
right?
possible.
Yes. I want that circle to go just in between. I want to see some water, okay? I want to have some of the military base, and I want to have some of the mainland as well. So we already get some of the fights here. Atani Esports being able to get the knock there on 52 Pharaoh. This is a great start for Atani Esports, actually, because and something to point out, they have Cinetexa. They have a player from Brazil that has been added for this tournament. So I think it's time that we actually start seeing a good performance out of Atani Esports here on a global event.
Yeah, I would really love to, though. Let's see what they can do. They get another one down. Pain goes down. That's a lot of pain for him straight there. Here fighting in the God compound just west of the Godka area. And that's going to be a great start for Atan. Let's see what Daku can do here, though, 7. Is he going to be able to get down 1? No, just a quick peek.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be waiting patiently. You can see Cinetexa right now just flipping the buggy in the background. If this is going to be a time right now, Fran has to push that. Daku's going to just back off a little bit. They're going to be looking to reset. I think they has given enough time for Cinetexa to actually push up into them. There you go.
Oh, the backup. He gets in. Daku goes down. Cinetexa, fantastic backup coming in this situation here. A little bit of fire. Vaz, what is he able to do here for 52?
The good thing right now is that, I mean, Atan has everything going for them, right? They
100%.
have one of the 52 esports players just pretty much against the wall.
Yeah.
What's going to happen here and how they're going to be able to approach this? You can see them, Choco trying to get that different angle, and how are they actually going to be able to push that? We have seen teams throw in a way this kind of pushes when it's just one player.
Oh, Vass, they are searching him though. Look at this. Nice backup coming in, and they're just going to take him down. That is pretty damn amazing. Well played here by Atan. 52 out in first place.
Yeah. Talking about a great start, this is what I want to see out of a ton. I mean, they ended up with 5 elims in the first match, 3, and then in the past match, they only had 1 elim. 4 right off the bat. This is what you want to see.
All right, also here, Virtual Gaming Squad. Maybe have some information that there might be one of the players here from Vampire Esports. I don't think so, though. They're not really looking for him to just go away. The Glass House compound here is a really good one, but they have to rotate further, obviously, when the circle is further east.
Yeah, Vampire just playing it patient. Say, you know what? We're just going to be waiting and see what happens. Let's let them do their thing, and that's exactly what's going on. And, I mean, if you don't have to get into a fight this early on, just don't do it.
Exactly. But it feels like they have an idea, right? Because obviously he could be, he could have dropped close to it and then obviously been looting. But no, they are not going to find him. He's going to be fine here. Fluke.
The circle is going to start closing in, though. I want to see what 4 Rivals is going to be doing. I mean, they're currently towards the north in Bernie. With Vampire Esports, I think he's just going to continue to stay down. He's going to be super, super patient.
All right, let's see what the situation is going to be with the rotations. It is a pretty good circle. I want to see either a really rough one, we're talking military base, 50-50, something like that, or a good center one. Because on the Potato Hill, there is a lot of good areas to be fighting around. These farms with the snake compounds, there's a lot of compounds that could be taken. And there's really basically just a lot of real estate that is available for these teams. So we could potentially see a lot of teams sending it in towards the center rather than what we've seen so far in the tournament. A lot of edge-heavy play, especially on Miramar. That's very, very edge-heavy. And obviously because also how this circle ended up being. Morph in Yasnaya.
And I mean, for the last game, Morph, what a performance, right? And we're talking about them. We're saying how that was a team that went from 0 points to hero points, being able to collect those 20, I think it was 22 points for them. That's what you want to see out of the Indonesian teams. I'm pretty sure a lot of people right now on YouTube are going to be doing Indo Pride. And next week, I mean, on the after party event, they're going to be also having Bigatron. So if more can actually make it there, I want to see that. I want to see those giants just battle each other.
Virtual Gaming Squad also fighting right now. Let's see how that's going to turn out as well. If it's just going to be one. Seoul did lose 1 player, Omega. And now the other guys from Team Seoul are leaving.
There's a lot of teams right now trying to scout, trying to figure out where they're going to be going. You can see Star Wars Esports finally starting to move a little bit. I think they're going to make sure that their bridge is going to be clear and they're going to be able to make a move for it. Right now, the amount of loot they're going to be able to get is going to be amazing. And I think this is great for them. Nobody bothers them at the start, right? And it looks like they're just going to have a clear path. If for some reason it does go to the main island, they're going to have a clear path. And I feel like this is why they're currently being able to be consistent. And I mean, Star Wars Esports, this was a team that, by a lot of people, they think that they are going to be the winners of this event. So I'm interested to see if that consistency, even though they don't have a chicken dinner yet, if that consistency is going to continue.
That is like 3 games back to back to back third. That is very impressive considering the format, how the teams are playing, the difference in teams. You're not playing against your usual regional teams. You're not playing against teams that you usually know. So that is that's pretty impressive. And I think, especially the guys on the desk, they talk so much about Stalwart and how their expectations is high. Let's hope that Max is not here to curse them, but rather bless them together with Kylaris.
And one of the teams we were talking about earlier, Nigma Galaxy. I mean, right now, middle of Pachinki, with this circle, you're in a way you're kind of blessed. Just take your time, see what's going to happen. Nobody, more than likely, nobody's really going to be trying to push you. But you can see, you were talking about Potato Hill. Guess what? There's a lot of teams going there right now.
There is. It's a lot of good information to be taken from the high ground there, but also you can't be... Some teams can be sneaking up, and right now, Seoul, they are pulling up here by the shacks, and Damwon Kia is lurking in the back, and they're already throwing some of the utility that way here. Vivian and Mates coming in, and then Seoul hears it. Goblin's the only one that's currently left in the back for it. Let's see if that's going to continue, if he's going to stay kind of an anchor, or at least just make sure that his teammates is going to get away safely, and then he can leave as the last guy, or if they're going to contest Damwon Kia here on the high ground.
I think they were just scouting. Those 2 players on the card were trying to figure out, you know what, are we going to be able to use that advantage with Goblin being able to just kind of keep them focused there? It didn't happen. They decided to go back. Overall, Team Seoul not being too aggressive, making sure they know where they want to go, and that's what you want to see at this stage.
Especially here, once we see the second circle pop, then they can decide, are we going to fight for it? Are we going to leave?
Yep.
Are we going to have to make a big rotation? And soon, 7, we are going to see the next circle here. And this is a big decider. We're going to see if the teams are going to have to stay or if they're going to be moving. A lot of teams still moving in. They're basically on the edge or just outside the circle. And then they're going to have to either continue for a very long time if it's a hard shift against them or if it's going to be a center circle. Right now, most of the teams would love a center shift.
Yeah, and with TJB, I mean, you see TJB now starting to move down to the south. They're like, okay, you know what? We had plenty of time to loot up. Let's actually move along. And something that I enjoyed there from Stalwart Esports, they were just waiting patiently. They made sure that they sent only one player across that bridge. They made sure nobody was waiting for them. And they were like, okay, it's clear. You know what? Just come our way. More than likely, it's not going to go to military base, even though, never mind.
You summoned it.
I'll take it. I was saying I wanted to bring out my toxic trade of it being in the middle. I mean, it's looking promising right now.
Yeah, it's also hard because the amount of water that is in play right now is making the vast majority of the center of the circle not playable unless you want to be in the water. But we're going to see a lot of teams come to this southern hill of the Pochinki. There's a big dip. There's some good trees to be played, but mainly 2 compounds. The pack compound and the double barn compound are going to be the main ones that are going to be fought for, and obviously some of the compounds west of farm. Let's see how some of the teams are deciding to do here.
One of the teams I'm currently looking at is Vampire Esports. I mean, they're just taking a way too long with time right there for me. What I would like to see, and you can see back-to-back, Killswitch, one of the main players actually getting eliminated. Oh man, that's going to hurt them big time. And this is, I got to bring up my NA trait now. I was hoping back-to-back would have good performances here. So far, after 3 matches, they had 7 points, not what you expect to see out of that team.
Oh, that's unfortunate for them. Hopefully they're able to step it up and especially learn towards. Now that you're casting them, maybe they're stepping up. No, Rankin's still taking some shots towards Stalwart. Pika goes out. It's going to be going down as well. That's 1 elimination saved for Rankins again. Good performance for them. 2.
And then you have J-Way just passing by.
No!
Oh, no. J7, please, keep going.
Go away. No! That is so unfortunate. And a strong defense here for Reckons. Really good performance with them so far. They're sitting in a decent compound if it goes north-northeast, but they are not the most center team right now. But they're going to be fine. They got some of the elimination points they wanted, and now they're able to secure this. Morph have heard that in the distance.
And the good thing there with Reagan's Gaming is, I mean, they were able to take full advantage of that. A lot of those teams weren't really expecting them to be there, and guess what? You end up being able to get 4 elims. That's not bad. At this point, that's not bad. You didn't lose a single player. You didn't have to heal. You didn't have to lose any utility. That's maybe one of the best stuff that you can expect out of a team.
Such a good start for them here, considering still have 17 teams remaining, 63 total players, and the Wildcats, they are guarding the bridge, and this could be really interesting because if we see a southern shift, worst case scenario, or for your toxic trade, what you hope for, then it's going to be a huge game for them. They could either get past fast, or they could be gatekeeping everyone that's going to be trying to go across on the western bridge.
And as we're seeing all of that, I'm also looking now back-to-back Polo. He's staying right there, very, very close to the water to see if he was going to maybe have to rotate to the military base because he's by himself now. That's going to be a very hard rotation, so it's interesting to see that. And then TJB, we saw that north to south rotation. Right now, they're not really having to worry about much. As I say that, Lin gets knocked.
Oh.
I'm just caster cursing this.
Yeah, it's just basically live caster cursing them, or it could be some of the other amazing casters that we have here in the arena. Obviously, so many languages is covering these amazing games, and we're gonna be seeing the next circle pop just shortly.
Please,
and then
madness.
You're hoping for chaos.
Yes.
For anarchy. And that would be the southern shift. Let's see if it happens.
I kind of wanted to go to military base now. I know earlier I said, and as I said that, it decides to stay just on the main island. Okay, well, we'll take that. We'll take that.
That's fine. And it's also pretty damn good for the majority of the teams because it is kind of center in the northern side. So the vast majority of the teams, they are already in a damn good spot. Soul, one of them, 4 rivals, also sitting pretty good. And as we're talking about, Enigma Galaxy, they need to have a good game now. They need to have this ball starting to roll for them. Otherwise, they're going to have a really rough day 1, and it's going to be hard to catch up.
Yeah, with Enigma Galaxy, I mean, we're talking earlier about how they were in Pochinki, how they had everything going for them. And right now, I'm not able to even spot them. They're nowhere near to be found there. 4 rivals has actually taken over Pochinki, which is a great, great spot. And look at them. They're going to be able to catch people if they're rotating, they're going to be able to cause some damage and at least back them up.
Let's see what Donuts is going to be able to get out of this one here. They're also sitting pretty in this situation. Obviously on the northern side of it, but still they are holding on to quite a lot of real estate in this situation.
And if we do end up getting, for some reason, the circle just to end up a little bit towards the east-north, right, of Pachinki, where we have all those fields, I hope all these teams are just currently saving those utilities.
What I love the most about Donuts' position right there is that they're able to become the last team to leave the barns and then run up onto the hill and then basically clear the whole Pachinki east side hill. But Vampire is on the move. Let's see what they're able to do. They have Vivo Keat Stars in the distance. Let's see what the Brazilian guys are able to do. Obviously had the pressure of covering the PMWI Brazil, so I know what these guys are capable of, and they are huge fraggers.
Would you say Vivo Keat is your favorite team to win this?
Not favorite team to win it, but I definitely root a little bit for them because I know these guys are really, really good. But Adrian's going to be taken down, and I basically just counter what I just said. Unfortunately for Adrian.
We're talking about Caster Cursing. We're seeing it here live, ladies and gentlemen. It is happening. Vivo Keat, after they watch that, they're just going to be absolutely hating us. But for Vampire Esports, they took their time. They waited to make sure they were going to get a clear shot. They actually had 3 players aiming down, and they were able to make sure they got that knock and finish that illim, which is it's something you want to see because if we go back, Vampire Esports, on the first aerial, they were stealing a lot of illims.
Yeah, they were. They had only a few knockdowns, but secured a lot of eliminations and a lot of points through the steals there. Cielo is going to be moving towards Ravenclaw. And they're going to be having a rotation through the fields, try to maybe sneak in, get in under the skin of them, and maybe take a fight to them. Let's see what happens. He's just getting hit from every single side, and Ravenclaw is going to be able to take down Cielo and confirm the elimination here.
Yeah, that's just unlucky for Cielo. You can see the tire got popped, and then all of a sudden he just didn't know what to do. He tried to just switch seats. Maybe he could just snap on somebody. It was not going to happen. Vampire Esports right now is looking good. It might not be the 24 illims, right? But something might be happening for them.
Yeah, and the next circle here did shift slightly north, but still it maintained the vast majority of the land in play right now. So we're going to see a lot of teams fight for this next terrain coming up forward. TJB most likely going to be able to get the revive off here. Kist in a good situation. We see VGS as well. Virtual Gaming Squad fighting the Wildcats. Let's see what they're able to do right now. Ooh, utility being used.
Playing it slow. He's going to be able to be found. He is getting knocked. Where's his other teams trying to get the flank? And they're going to be able to. Can they knock him? He's still staying alive somehow. Avenger.
That is wild. Virtual Gaming Squad with a lot of pressure on from the side as well. Boron, half HP, one more. No, he gets countered. Oh my god. That is insane. Super well played by the Wildcats here. We can hear our Turkish colleagues going absolutely crazy next to us. And one shot is down to a 1 versus 1 right now with Boron. Let's see who's going to be able to take it home for them.
Wildcats. I mean, Boron, with that kind of angle, that saved their team. You could see what Virtual Gaming Squad was doing. They were trying to get different angles. They were trying to rotate around them. But Boron said, you know what? I can actually see you. Doesn't matter what you're trying to do. It's not going to work. And he ended up working out wonders for them. Hopefully, he can pick up his squad right now and secure those elimination points.
Oh, he's actually going to go off. The blue
nope.
zone is pushing them. Nope. Boron's going to try to maybe secure the points. The zone is coming in. Garavi taking some shots, but no. And this means Wildcat's going to lose a few players. Boron is going to try to get into a situation where he can play as a solo, but it's going to be hard. A lot of the terrain ahead of him here, 7 is taken already.
And with Virtual Gaming Squad, I mean, they do decide to wait and actually revive those players. I wonder if that's going to hurt them long term. We'll see what happens with them. And we do have Team Falcons here going up against Morph. The winners of the last game. Can Morph continue on this trend? Team Falcons, I mean, a surprising start out of that team too. They ended up in 2nd place in Miramar. Was not expecting that, but I love to see it.
Yeah, back-to-back out in 17th. And of course, the Wildcats out in 16th, and now Stalwart out in 15th place. And we came in and we say, all right, it's so impressive to see them back-to-back 3rd place, but now they are going to have their bad game of the day. Maybe we'll see the next few games they're going to be having a combat. Let's see what Falcon is going to be able to do in this situation here, 7. They're putting a lot of pressure onto Damwon Kia.
Yeah, and with Damwon Kia, I'm intrigued. I mean, you also have Box Gaming that's currently of the horizon. I wonder if they're going to be able to push up on that. Falcon, it is currently spread out a good bit. it will be interesting to see if they are going to be willing to take this fight on to Damwon Kia with Falcon Yusuf just, 47 bullets in a Dream. I'm pretty sure he might be able to catch somebody off rotating. They just have to be careful, make sure that nobody sneaks up on them. And here we go, getting some shots, putting out his position. And is he going to be able to secure? Oh, he's not. And then we have TJB Esports EU getting eliminated as well. What's going on?
It's a wild game already. Damwon Kia putting some pressure on it. Now also...
He ended up backfiring. Remember I was telling you if it was going to backfire for Virtual Gaming Squad?
It did.
It did.
Yeah, it took too long time. They have to finish their fights fast. And now Falcon putting on some pressure onto Damwon Kia. Forest goes down. Let's see what Dama is going to be able to do here with the DP28. Only a level 1 helmet. So it takes much more damage and durability on it, though. Falcon under pressure from multiple sides. New circle has popped, and as gone northeast. When we were talking about it, Donut, they were potentially going to be able to have a massive game from this, and they have the center compound 7.
They do, and I'm intrigued to see what Team Soul's going to do right now. They're currently sitting in the middle of that field, or kind of close towards the mountain. I want to see if they're going to have to rotate or how they're going to set themselves up. If they have any vehicles also for cover, because I know in those areas, you don't have any vehicles, and this is what happens to Stalwart Esports. Oh, man, we wanted to see that consistency. Wow. It didn't end up happening.
Yeah, that's crazy. Regans are able to sweep and take control of the southern side of the circle, and they're continue to do so. Now Falcon's putting some pressure on to Damwon Kia. Takes down Song. Amazing.
Damar, that's what you want to see at a Team Falcon.
So
Don't
impressive.
Be scared. Take those shots, Martin.
So impressive. Now Box also trying to get in, and the eastern side is going to get more and more occupied with both Falcon and Box. As you see here on screen, powerful, putting more pressure onto Box, trying to push them away from their edge, making sure that they have the control.
That Box Gaming pushing up to the rock just in time. I mean, Yusuf right now, he wants some elims. He wants those points.
Falcon still in this situation, putting on pressure for this.
Yusuf, I mean, Team Falcon, they went from probably ended up getting some great amount of limbs to now just backing off a little bit, playing it safe, and kind of like to see it. And then when they see the opportunity, they go for it. This is what you want to see out of Team Falcon. I mean, Yusuf being able to get those knocks. Can they confirm that Ilum? That's going to be the big question mark. You can see them trying to rotate. Box Gaming now is starting to get pushed from behind by RSG. I'm not sure, Avenger here, who is going to come out on top. I mean, Box Gaming, I'm actually surprised that they're still alive.
Yeah, they are under so much pressure from Falcon right now, and they continue to survive. On Reckons also continuing into that. And it's kind of helping that they're in this dip here, because now that means that Reckons is also putting pressure onto Falcons. They want all of it. Reckons really taking control on the eastern side from the south.
And guess what? It's helping out Team Falcon right now, because they're going to have to, at some point, they're going to have to just give up this fight. You're going to have a disadvantage too. And there's so much more stuff going on right now with other teams that they need to be careful. You don't want to focus too much right now on RSG. If you can somehow rotate and get actually inside the circle, you have to do it. But wow, those shots, I mean, as I'm saying that, Team Falcon just keeps proving me wrong. They're able to get those shots, they're able to get those ilms, and it's currently working for them.
Yeah, all right, let's see what Falcons could do here. They are moving a bit around. They're trying to get out of this, but Reagan's just putting on some pressure on them, but they're losing out as well. Means that Reagan's is probably going to go out soon. Vivo keyed out in 8th place here with just 1 elimination. Falcon able to survive this is a mystery to me, 7.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out wonders for them, right? They were able to hit those shots. That's pretty much what it came down to, and they were able to become aggressive when they needed to be. They saw some knocks, they went for it, but this is, I feel like this is maybe when they needed to just try to move on from that fight, try to see what's going on over that hill, and try to locate themselves. Where are you going to go after this, right? What is your next move?
Exactly. They want to make sure of Reckons are getting out here. Vampire taking control of this shack here, super important for them. We have 4 rivals in the distance there, moving across the field. Shots are coming onto them. That's a knock as well. Super well played by Schweppes. Nice shots coming in. And also, without us seeing, Enigma Galaxy being able to take some of the bunkers area. That is just so important for them. Now Freak putting on some pressure.
And
onto the Vampire Esports guys.
And at this point, if you do have any grenades, Enigma Galaxy, please start throwing them. You know exactly where he's going to be at. You know he can't move out of there. Vampire Esports is a team that you don't want lingering behind you because they're just going to come and strike. And this is what I'm talking about. Let those grenades roll and the shots too.
Super well played by Freak and Enigma Galaxy. This rotation, this is a macro call to get into the bunker. They saw potentially open. All they did a blind rotate. Then they got in and took control of it. 4 guys alive, and they're now trying to make sure that they can close this game out after a rough day 1 here. But game 4 is looking really good for them.
Vampire Esports is able to pick up that player. They are able to recover a little bit. Are they going to be able to get those seals? And then as I was mentioning, Enigma Galaxy still needs to be careful with them. That is a very strong team, as you can see right now. Even though they might be pinned, Vampire Esports players are trying to get those ilms so they can move forward.
Ralph has an idea that Ravenclaw is there. Oh, nice! This is crazy good utility usage here for 4 rivals. Let's see if they're able to close some of it out. A lot of damage is being put out. Another one is found. Oh, it's actually finished off. Lappy is being ticked up on stone though now, and he's being finished off too with another elimination for Vampire Esports. USG coming out of the barns. They're putting on pressure from the north side. Falcon still alive on the east.
And guess what? Vampire Esports says, you guys decided not to eliminate us. Well, guess what? Now it's time that we put that pressure on them. And Donuts, USG, helped them out big time, too. This is what happened with Enigma Galaxy. I was hoping they would finish off that fight early. It didn't happen. And now we do have Team Falcon. Hopefully they can start picking some people off from here.
Oh, that's a headshot straight to the level 3 helmet. Donuts are not taking anything off it. Missile sends bullets raining his way. And that's going to be a really rough situation for Falcons, trying to get the revive off, but the pressure from multiple sides are coming off. Reckon still trying to sneak in, but the circle shifted north 7 straight onto Donuts and Enigma Galaxy.
And with all these teams distracted by Team Falcon, this is actually going to work wonders for Regan's gaming. You can see them just little by little crawling, but hey, it's going to work out for you. And right now, you're going to see, 3 players from Vampire Esports. You do have 1 player from 4 rivals just laying down and playing patiently. This is going to be absolute madness. And that's to say that Regan's, no, RSG player gets eliminated. He was spotted.
Yeah, that's Regan's out in 9th or 6th, and with 9 eliminations, that's great for them. But Donuts, only team with 4 alive. They're probably going to be able to put a lot of pressure on the rest, and then they'll see if Vampire and Enigma, they're able to withstand this pressure, or what's going to happen here. Falcons, 10 eliminations in 5th place here. Such an honorable placement for them with the amount of points they're going to be able to get out of this one.
Yeah, I would say that was actually a great game for them, considering how many fights they got on.
And also the terrain they came from.
Yes, and they did have to end up rotating a little bit left. I mean, a little bit late here on this final circle, which kind of hindered them. But for them to be able to get at least those 10 kills is going to be wonders. And then we have Donuts. I think this might actually work out wonders for Donuts. I think that might be my favorite.
Oh,
but Vampire.
Power Rivals as well coming in. Stone taking down Amodia. That's actually Enigma Galaxy out. They were in the middle. They got sandwiched completely in this situation. And this is such a good thing for Donuts now. Missile gone down. Oh, no. Rivals gone out too. We're just down to Donuts, and it looks like a Donut game, this one.
We were talking about it before this game actually started. Well, guess what? It's bound to happen. Vampires, though. Vampire Esports, I am so impressed with the way they have been able to work out this final circle, the way they were able to put some extra pressure on Enigma Galaxy, even when they had some of their players down. This is great stuff, and if they can get another chicken dinner on Erangel, oh, man, that's going to secure a big spot for them at the top.
All right, they're trading revives in this situation. Want to get everyone up top again. And the question is, how is it going to end up? Looking violently out. The circle actually went away from both teams here in 7 in this situation. Donuts has to come in from the northern side, try to use some of the utilities, use some of the smokes to try to get in. Vampire has a little bit more of the terrain, but Naoto has some cover. Let's see how much they have to work with. There's also a crate inside the circle, so that could be worked as hard cover instead of the soft cover that smokes provide.
It will be, and even though they are throwing up those smokes, right? They're sending up the smoke line. I do like Naoto. It's currently going to have a little bit of a higher ground advantage over some of these players, so he might be able to spot something if he just jumps and sees them rotating. And as we say that, Ravenclaw being able to get the knock. If you're going to push, this is the time, and he is going to do that. He's going to try to just get cover behind that crate that you were mentioning, and now it becomes down to who is snaking on their path and who's going to be able to get the next knock. Vampire, though, so aggressive. Look at them. They're not wasting any time. They know they currently have the advantage in regards to one of the players was knocked, but then it backfires. One of the Molotovs from Naoto, one of the players I was telling you, being able to get the angle. What's going on here, Vampire? You guys had it going for you.
Yeah, the opening knock was important, but they're putting a lot of pressure onto them and just making sure they stay back there. Oh, it's going to be good for Donuts. They're going to go in and they're going to get it. It's a game, but they know how to get to the high ground positions. They know how to scout. They know how to get into these fantastic situations where they can get a lot of eliminations.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that. You already know me. You already know I like Madness, so it wouldn't be a surprise to you that I'm going to say Sandhawk is my favorite match. Yeah. But what I am going to be looking at here is what's going to happen in Picado. I mean, in the first Miramar that we got a chance to play, it was Team Seoul lost 3 players in Picado to Box Gaming. I want to see if they're going to be able to adjust to that. We saw what Team Seoul was able to do in that previous match in Erangel. They were able to get a lot of the just major center stuff, but how they're going to start.
For sure. I want to see what this plane path gives us, though. We are going all the way south of Los Lunas, all the way up to the north side, close to La Carroria. And this opens up so many things. The vast majority of our teams here, they're going to be able to get into their usual drops or at least get a car and move in there. So let's see if we're going to see any hot drops, if we're going to see any contests, or potentially any gatekeeps. And obviously, the first circle, where do we go? Already early, Damonkey out. They're going to maintain a lot of control on the southwest side. Let's see how much they're going to be having. Highest damage so far. Not a surprise considering that they have had such a good performance in the first couple of games here. Vampire, quite impressive. Longest elimination here. That's where the change of the talk happens here. 375 meters and 373 meters. That is really damn close. And 2 players on top of the knockouts as well. Ravenclaw and Wave, of course, looking really sharp there. And the Nadelims, that's all Vampire here, 7.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. I mean, with currently the way they're performing, as we're seeing the map right there, doesn't look to me like Team Seoul wanted to go Picado again with Box Gaming. And that's a smart thing, okay? You want to be able to get all those points. For everybody currently watching at home, let's watch PMWI together. Complete daily missions to earn points. Once enough points are accumulated, tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding rewards.
Yeah, and participate in the event solo or team up with other players, both is okay. Team up could get the reward more easy if you're able to win some of those games here. But let's take a look at this game here and how the circle is going to play out. I want to point out, though, Box is obviously, they're not going to get contested again.
Yep.
Because in the Picado arena, there's a boxing arena, and Box is obviously the best at boxing. So let's be completely obvious about that. It's a northeastern circle, 7, though, and that's a really interesting one because we have a lot of open areas. We have a lot of high ground areas. So I'm really curious to see how these teams, they're going to make their way. And there's a lot of teams outside the circle on our western side, south and north. So a lot of teams and a lot of pressure is going to be happening coming in from the southwest side of the circle here. So if the clever teams, and this is where I really love it, if the clever teams are really clever, they're going to take their long rotations on the southeast side or on the northeast side and try to get in on the northeastern side of the circle here because the vast majority of the teams are on the southwest side of this current circle.
And talking about clever teams, I want to see what kind of rotation Dan 1 Kia is going to end up doing here as they are currently looting in Valle del Mar. They're going to have so many options, right? And something that they got to keep in mind if we go back to the first Miramar that we saw, a lot of these teams were playing that edge circle. And it was, I mean, it wasn't even close. Everybody was pretty much on the edge. So if you wait too long to try to get into that circle, that rotation is going to be super, super hard to get in.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the really interesting one here. That's why I love Miramar, because we're going to be seeing that. Here, back-to-back, your hometown boys looting in Montenegro by themselves, not inside the circle currently, but they're going to have a really easy way in. They could go all the way to San Martin, my hometown, if they want to get an easy way in. The question is, does Stalwart stay? Does Falcon stay? Or do they try to take some of these more prevalent good compounds that we know that is close to the Hacienda area?
You say easy rotation for back-to-back, and I know the viewers currently can't see this, but if for some reason they take a little bit too long, Enigma Galaxy could kind of cut them off, and then it goes from that easy rotation to absolute madness because they're also going to have to worry about the other team that's currently below that with Adrian and Vampire. I mean, that's a team that right now, with the way they're performing, I don't want to run into them. I'm pretty sure back-to-back definitely doesn't want to run into them.
And I think that's definitely something we're going to be seeing further into the tournament is we're going to see once we've done with day number 1 here, the teams are going to go back. They're going to look at all these rotations. They're going to look at all these plays. They're going to be like, all right, these teams are actually making the same rotations. So we could potentially gatekeep them or camp their rotations.
Yeah, and you were talking about all the area that's up in that's just open on the top east.
Yeah.
4 rivals right now taking full advantage of that, and now we're finally getting into a fight here. RSG against more of a team that didn't really perform that well in the first 2 matches.
Oh.
Miramar being one of them, and they end up losing Frenzy with their teammates nowhere to be seen. That's a good pickup right there for RSG.
Yeah, Regans again with these early fights here, they're really taking advantage of that. Lightning fast in that situation, and they're being able to close this one out. They are not inside the circle currently. They are just south of the circle in the southern side, close to Los Leones or inside Los Leones. Now TJB, let's see what they're able to do. If they're able to have a crazy one for this situation. Obviously the higher-end compound was fantastic for them, but right now they're far away. Box also in a rotation, currently going closer. They are quite center already, and potentially going to be able to take some compounds. And the crazy thing is, to me, is that obviously there's a lot of compounds available, but we are playing 18 Team 7. And throughout the games we've seen so far today, we're not seeing as many splits. We're not seeing as many greedy splits, these 2-2 splits and all these 1-1-2 splits, where all the teams are getting really greedy because there are just this more amount of players, more amount of teams that are going to contest your compounds. So we see a lot more teams play closely knitted together, making sure that they stay 4 guys alive towards the late game, because as we've seen in the vast majority of the game so far, the teams with 1 extra guy just continues to win these fights, because obviously if you're in a 2 versus 1, 3 versus 2, 4 versus 3, you have the upper hand by default.
Yeah, and I mean, you're saying that we just literally saw it in the final ending of that previous Aaron Guild. You saw Vampire, they did have 1 less player, and it kind of ended up hindering them. I feel like if Vampire would have had those 4 players, they would have definitely ended up winning that. And we do see TJB making sure that some of the players from Box Gaming back off. They don't want to be anywhere near them. Actually, Vampire Esports backs off. Don't come near us. That's what they're trying to say right now. And you were talking about earlier of all the open area that's on the top east. I mean, 4 rivals was able to take big advantage of Cruz del Valle, and then you have USG as well, El Hazard, just looting slowly, not having to worry about anything. And something that we're seeing completely different from the first Miramar is nobody's wanting to play this edge, okay? Everybody's wanting to go straight to the middle.
Yeah, exactly. We see Box, we see CJB right now. Some of the really high priority compounds here with the concrete building and the warehouse in the intersection. They're close southeast of Hacienda del Patron.
Ooh.
And Aton and Wildcats are in a fight. See what they're able to do.
We've seen what Boren can do, but now he's gonna have to be careful, because it looks like Bruno from Aton Esports is wanting to take this fight. He is gonna have Ray 77 with him to back him up. Can Bruno release the screen and at least get some damage and knock him? He is able to get that knock. Bruno coming up big. Insy's going to be able to confirm that too. He's got to watch out for the other player. And guess what? Some of the other players from the other team are also going to be able to push up. Wildcats being able to try to get that angle. You can see Lux right there. And it is going to backfire. This is just going south right now for Aton Esports.
Lux pushing in, super aggressive, trying to get more control of this, trying to deny the rest, and it's happening. It's so well played by Wildcats. And Aton is out in 18th place. They do get 1 with them, 1 elimination and 1 point secured for them here.
You can see that Aton Esports ended up getting that knock. And then they were like, okay, we got the Ilum. They got a little bit too complacent. You got to be able to finish that, and you got to be ready, because you know that team is going to be coming. They don't want to lose. Nobody wants to lose players right now at this stage. And just go back and watch that battle. Okay, Aton Esports, you got to be able to learn a lot. Marv, Rocky right now trying to be sneaky. He knows that there's going to be a buggy right there. Oh. This is going to be an interesting fight between these 2 players.
He has information. Question is, can he hit it? Oh my god, that is on point. A lot of damage done. Now, let's see what they decide to do. Regans, he's going to... Oh my god, that is so clever. Repositions the car, gets out. Morph could completely disengage from this fight. That's a good another nade. Let's see the next circle pop. It's coming up slowly here. This could be a huge one. We still have teams that are trying to get in from literally everywhere where we saw them drop.
And then you have Damwon Kia. I mean, I think they're still thinking of that previous Miramar. Everybody was just playing edge. They're playing it super, super slow. I don't blame them.
Oh.
And this is going to work out wonders for them.
That is going to work great.
Obviously, they don't know this, but they have so much space to rotate into. I'm hoping they don't decide to do one of those rotations you were talking about earlier. And guess what? RSG against Morph. Morph should have at least an angle towards the east of RSG. But those smoke grenades are just going to be able to favor them. I think Morph is going to end up losing Rocky.
That's unfortunate. They're going to go down one player more. They're going to be just 2 now. So they're going to be in a salvage mission to see if they can get more out of this game. RSG is going to get healed up fully. They're going to be completely fine as well. And they're going to be moving in for that too. Vampire could potentially hear Morph rotating. I love this circle here. We are going to go on the western side. We're closing up Cinder and Hacienda, and we've had some fantastic endings around that area because it becomes very urban once we get closer to San Martin and Hacienda. The question is, do we stay on the open field side on the east, or do we go urban on the west side here and maintain some of the high ground that we have south of the San Martin too? Now, Team Falcons have had a really good performance. The home turf heroes here, and let's see if they're going to be able to continue that.
Yeah, they definitely want to be able to continue on that energy that we're able to put out earlier. So we are going to be looking at a replay here from
Again?
RG.
Oh, yeah,
what happened? Rocky was able to get a knock, but I mean, DD being able to just back him up, he's going to end up getting the knock. And you see, Fajar, I thought he was going to maybe get the off angle, but
nope.
See, it seems like it ended up backfiring for him throwing that smoke.
Oh, that's a good amount of shots come in, Yusuf, and you can hear the crowd go wild. Amazing, super well played by Team Falcons, and Yusuf in this situation. They are able to close this one out. They're close to the water treatment, so they are also in a very, very good position and on the terrain. Now, Fall Rivals, Labby here on the high ground. Now, Damar's going to try to finish off, get the elimination points, and secure that. And you can hear the crowd go wild, cheering for them. That is great. The first grenade elimination, Yusuf is able to close that one off. Yeah, Team Falcons able to step it up.
What a surprise, honestly. I did not expect that. I didn't really think this team was going to be doing that well, and I'm so happy that they are, as we do see Team Soul being able to get that player. Lappy, I think it was, from 4 Rivals. There you go. He was trying to get that angle. Guess what? He ended up backfiring. Team Soul was able to sneak up on him, and right now Team Soul with 1 Ilum. You love to see it, and I want to see what Team Soul is going to end up doing. In the previous Erangel, you saw them being able to take that center of the circle. It ended up being a little bit too much for them. And right now, when I'm actually looking at Circle, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Stalwart Esports. They're pretty much smack down the middle, and that's a team that, you know, if they end up getting pushed, if they end up getting third party, that's with the talent and the skill that those players have, they can back it up. And they might end up getting a bunch of villains.
For sure, and rotations are coming in hard on the eastern side of the map too now. Falcon does see Soul in the distance. And cheering is coming on for Falcon in the arena. All right, Circle's closing in. As you can see on the map here, I was talking about on the eastern side, southeast, a lot of teams are going to be fighting for the same terrain here. If they don't get a shift in this situation here, 7, it's going to be really rough for them, and they're going to have to be doing big rotations. A lot of teams are already occupying some of the best compounds in the center too. Box, Falcon, Stalwart, Pivo, Keat, Stars, and TJB is sitting damn pretty right now. Let's see the next pop mall. Oh my God, it's going to go north here and close out on the Hacienda area, but we have a huge ridge that is in play, and the water treatment could potentially also be crashed, and the terrain that's going to be able to be taken from that is going to be good. Now, Virtual Gaming Squad putting on pressure onto Damankia. Oh, Fabian has to heal.
Damankia barely being able to get off that. And this is what ended up happening here with Team Falcon. I mean, beautiful. You can see those shots. Yusuf, you are just something else. He got the nade Ilum, and he also was able to put up those shots with the AKM. And I was going to say, you mentioned it too, that southeast and the East is just going to be absolute managed with all those teams trying to push it. And I know that everybody in the crowd was screaming Team Falcon, Team Falcon. I was actually screaming Urban Area, Urban Area. And it ended up working out wonders for us.
All right, yeah, especially here with this situation where they're going to be moving from the southeast. The circle did go slightly northwest, so the big rotations is basically the last time we're going to see those. They're going to be trying to go up on the northern side and try to take some of that terrain that could potentially be open on the northwest. The question is, are all of them going to be able to do so, or are they going to decide to do so? Donuts coming off the win here, Donuts USG. They are one of those teams that are looking like they need a big rotation.
And with them, oh man, I'm looking at this, the rotation that Dam1 Kia is currently doing. I wish they would have just stayed left, because right now they're about to run into just a wall of teams that are going to be fighting with each other. Vampire Esports see somebody from TJB. He's not going to be able to move, but guess what? Stone, being the smart player that he is, he's just destroying all those tires where that player's not going to be able to go anywhere. And here we go.
Wildcats?
What are you going to be able to do, Wildcats? We've seen what you guys can do before. I love hearing the crowd. I miss it. And here we go, RSG. almost being able to knock somebody there from TJB, but TJB getting the angles
Oh
too
my
and being able
God.
to finish off RSG. This is huge for TJB.
Massive game for them. Maybe they're going to be able to get the rest off as well on Zhao. Question is, how are they going to do so with Bucks staring down it? They have a bit of a smoke. So the utility is going to come out and it's going to work out for them. Oh, Bucks in the Hacienda compound. Huge compound, plenty of loot. So if they need to refresh their rest or helmets, they're going to be fine to do so. Now Wildcats, more rotations coming in. Damwon Kia too. Are they going to drive straight into them? And the drive-by is going to happen. They are first. Took some damage. Oh, Fabian's going to go down now. X-Ray, what are you able to do here for the Wildcats?
And Wildcats, I mean, they have the players behind them too. They need to be careful. They were able to get that knock, and I think that was huge. Can he get the knock? He's not. He's actually going to get third party by USG. What's happening here? Damwon Kia, though, can they secure this? We know they love those DBS. This is the perfect time for him. It does not end up working out for him. Wildcats being able to come out on top and securing some great amount of elims for them. Right now, for them, 7 elims, Avenger.
Yeah, that's a rough situation for them. Having to fight outside the blue here. They just want, both of the teams wanted the rotation now. See in the minimap, it's a northern shift towards the water treatment. And that's going to be rough for the teams on the south. A lot of teams are on the south side of that big road there, 7. Let's see how they manage to get into the zone. Oh, that is Wildcats just simply in a rough situation. Yeah, and Juni, oh my God, also putting out the utility, securing that Damwon Kia. It's just mutual destruction, basically.
Yeah, the 4X from Wildcats. I think he waited a little bit too long trying to cook that grenade, and he forgot that he was playing in this zone. He ended up backfiring for him. And right now, guess what? We have another push. Enigma Galaxy. This is a team that we've currently been looking at for the past 2 matches. Are they going to be able to do anything? They're not. They're actually going to end up losing players and they decide to back off. And with this new circle, I'm intrigued to see how back-to-back is going to be able to just get inside that circle. And on top of that, I mean, Star Wars Esports, they really haven't had to do much. We haven't seen them much, but guess what? I'm pretty sure they're going to set themselves up nicely for the final one.
Yeah, the teams that are looking good, really good right now is Falcon, it's Soul, his 4 rivals. Enigma Galaxy in a huge fight here with Vampire Esports, taking down Fluke. Let's see how many more he can get. Oh, it's going to be found. That is so unfortunate. Lord goes down, and that is Enigma Galaxy out in 16th. And now, the coming minutes here, we're going to see so many more teams falling because there's simply not enough terrain to accommodate all these teams. Yeah,
I mean, with the 18 teams that we have right now, I mean, not right now, but we start with, you're just seeing a completely different PUBG Mobile esports than what we used to. And I'm actually loving it. I'm loving all this kind of fights that we're getting here towards the end. And going back to Enigma Galaxy, I know they ended up losing there, but I did appreciate that player tried to get that elim. He was not expecting the other player to come in from that door, but hey, it happens, okay? It's Vampire Esports. You can't really be too harsh on yourself with the way Vampire Esports is playing right now.
All right, Donuts off this great game. Found some terrain inside the circle here. You can see on the minimap there inside on the northeast side. I have an idea that Virtual Gaming Squad is over there on the ridge that they have to push up on to once we see these next circles pop. Also a little bit live. You can see these players. Some are playing with 3 fingers, some are playing with 4. And most of them are playing with more than 2 for sure. See how it works out for Vivo Keat. Adrian on screen.
I was going to say, I'm not sure about that spot there for Star Wars Esports. I'm hoping that they do decide to go somewhere else because Vivo Kid is just currently zeroed in on them. And you can also see back-to-back just being on the horizon behind them too. This is going to be interesting what's happening to them because Vivo Kid is going to have to push at some point. They are outside that circle.
Yeah, the question is, do they drive past? Do they try to drive closer? Do they breach them? What's the situation with this? And now another situation with Box and Vampire Esports sharing. That's a nice shot from Stone straight into the helmet. It's going to save him. Now Juni is going to be trying to get into the circle. Let's see how deep he can go. He cannot go deeper than that. That is Damwon Kia out in 14th with 2 eliminations.
Yeah, that rotation from Damwon Kia ended up backfiring for them. But Stone, being able to go from one team to another team, snapping on them, doesn't matter which gun he's using. And guess what? We talked about Vivo Kid having to push in, and they decided to just, they didn't decide to drive by. They decided to just fully push into Star Wars Esports. And guess what? Back-to-back is going to be able to try to third-party this here, as we do see the fight ensuing. Star Wars Esports trying to back him up with some utilities. Grenades. Oh, action, please. Hit another one, because that was almost on the money.
Yeah, it's almost like the director out there saying 1, 2, 3 action. Try to get some of that and put it on. That's a lot of damage being on to Cielo. And that is him out. That is Vivo Kid out in 13. 0 Ilims, considering that their early positioning was actually really good.
Yep.
Stalwart's able to defend it. I'm sure that they could have been worked out better if they decided to go for the full crash, right? Rather than try to get a little bit of an edge inside the circle in the middle and a little dip. It really doesn't work out that well for them. But now that also means that back-to-back, Stalwart, all these teams, they have to move across the street and try to get into some of these new compounds. All the terrain, there's a lot of open fields as well on the south side of Morph and Falcon here too.
And I was surprised there, J-Way actually decided to take a shot on this Over Esports player. Why would you do that? They didn't even, I don't think they even knew you were there. Just focus on getting inside that circle. Don't focus on trying to get some cheeky kills because that's just not going to happen.
Virtual Gaming Squad. Let's see what you can do in this. Donuts are trying to get in, but Virtual Gaming Squad is putting pressure on them. One shot. Putting out a lot of shots. Donuts is trying to sneak in on the northern side here above Falcons. And Virtual Gaming Squad, they are putting so much pressure onto Donuts right now. They want them off this high ground here. They are not inside the next circle, but they're waiting for long enough. Maybe it's because the Virtual Gaming Squad wants this new area that Donuts has decided to take. Let's see what happens with them. Naruto goes down. Lin goes down to the play zone. And Schweppes finds action from Stalwart where they have to rotate. Missile, trying to survive for as long as they can. And now Virtual Gaming Squad, they had to leave. Yep. That means that Donuts, they're able to survive.
Yeah, with Virtual Gaming Squad, they were waiting to see what was going to happen there with Donuts. Well, guess what? After Donuts, they are going to have Team Falcon. And Team Falcon right now is on a tear. Even though they are currently just sitting quietly, they're making sure they back up everybody. You do see Team Soul back-to-back just decide to send it. J7 being able to push it. Is he going to be able to make it? He's not able to make it. You can see a shot being able to secure that element. And that is huge because if we would have made it in there, oh, man, he would have been able to get some angles and it would have backfired absolutely for Team Soul.
And let's see what this next circle happens with all the teams are being pushed in. 52 inside the gas station. That is another player gone down. That is very unfortunate for back-to-back. They get 1 elim and only 12th place, so not a lot of points from them for this game here. Vampire is being breached, and they are under siege by Stalwart. Meanwhile, Box is also third-partying them on the edge here. That's a good amount of pressure. 52 also in the kill feed, as you see. Now Stoned, what can he do in this situation here? Fluke taking some damage. This is kind of clever by Stone here. Try to get out.
Talk about the moves there from Stone. Being able to throw in the Molotov, make sure they back him up, getting some knocks too with the Molotov, and he's able to rotate and secure those Ilims. Huge play out of Vampire Esports. That's the fight that we've been wanting to see. And guess what? Box Gaming realizes, hey, this might be the time. If we're going to third party, let's third party right now. Box Gaming is starting to push the action.
Yeah, perfect time for them to box everyone in. This house, the longhouse here, Stalwart trying to get out. Still a knock in there. Stone cannot confirm it. He's outside. Top is on the other side. He healed up. The circle does go south, and that means a mayhem on the northern side. Falcon even has to move. Morph have to move. This is going to be an open field ending.
Yeah, with TJB currently having a little bit of cover there, it's going to be interesting. Stalwart Esports is going to be able to outlast Vampire Esports, but guess what? Box Gaming, this is going to be interesting how Action is going to be able to hold them off. I'm pretty sure he has already used a lot of utilities earlier with the fight with Vampire Esports. Box Gaming playing him slowly and finding the angles, and he does. That's Woo being able to eliminate their Stalwart Esports. It's okay. 7 Ilims. Stalwart Esports is not at another third place that we're expecting out of you, but I respect the amount of points that you guys are being able to put up in regards to Ilims.
All right, look at that. Donuts with the revenge onto Virtual Gaming Squad. Basically another case of mutual destruction, and Virtual Gaming Squad just taken down as well. Donuts too, this is a rough situation for them. They had to get out of the north side, but they can't. They go down. TJB in this situation, healing off. He's actually inside the zone. 52 have to move. Box is on the southern side of this circle here. They actually have a lot of control. Could be a great game for Box.
It definitely can, and I think with the way right now Team Falcon set up, it could possibly be another top 3 finish for Team Falcon. They still have all the 4 players, and they're currently positioning themselves perfectly. I just want to make sure they don't end up getting knocked from any of the third parties. You can see TJB, even though he was healing, he decided to stand up a little bit more and just keep an eye on who might end up pushing him. Team Falcon needs to be careful with that. More trying to make the push. They're going to get aggressive, but Team Falcon is just on another level, being able to secure that Ilim and moving upwards and forwards. That right there might have just secured them at least a top 3.
And another great performance on Miramar for Falcons. I love what I'm seeing from this squad here. Yusuf finding Pharaoh, 52, in shambles right now. Question is, do they have enough utility, enough smoke to make this next one in here? TJB also a little bit of a nuisance for them. He's down here in this little hay bale shack, and they could potentially lose one player to it.
And I think it's been so long since the TJB player has actually done something that he might end up surprising the Team Falcon players. And yes, I noticed that too. Team Falcon, they saw Box Gaming all the way on the other side, and they're taking shots. The aggressiveness of this teams, and right now 52. Oh man, it's not looking good for you. Okay, you have two teams looking at you, and yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to survive from that. But the TJB player, the one that's currently being able to survive, he might come into play later, unless Team Falcon knows that he's there. But I'm not sure, Avenger.
The question is, how much utility do they have? That's the decider of this one here. Now we see nades coming in. It is coming, a good nade. They're never alone from Falcon Esports. Finds him. That's TJB out. Another good performance from them now. But it means we're down to Box and Team Falcons.
And this is going to benefit, if Box Gaming can get into the zone, is going to benefit him in a big way. You can see Team Falcon, though, it's not slowing down. They're making the push. They didn't know that TJB player was there. They eliminated him. They were like, you know what, we need to take that spot, and we need to take it out and keep on moving forward. You can see the 52 esports player, though, being able to get the angle on both of the teams. Oh, that's going to be huge.
Vaz, I counted him out, basically. I didn't think he was going to survive that, but the players are not focused in on him. They thought they're one of the other teams potentially to take him out, so Falcons slightly forgot about him. And let's see how far he can take this one for 52. 8 eliminations for them. He finds a Box player, takes him down. Can he secure second place for 52?
52 esports currently just ruining the party for Box Gaming. We thought it was just going to be a Box Gaming versus Team Falcon versus. It's not going to happen. But guess what? Break from Box Gaming. He has to give out his position, just trying to back him up. And Team Falcons right now, they're setting themselves up perfectly. Team Falcons currently looking to take this win, ladies and gentlemen. They know where that player from 52 esports is at. Can they take it? You see Yusuf leading the charge. They know exactly where he's at. Here comes the grenades.
Finds one.
Oh, Vaz being able to actually back them up. Yusuf right there. Can he get the knock? You're so close to it. You're full health, and he's not, ladies and gentlemen. Team Falcon being able to get the win for Saudi Arabia.
Woo. They're able to, right.
Top 3 finish, yes or no?
In the whole thing to this
No. In this upcoming Arrogant.
On this upcoming Arrogant. Ooh.
Keep in mind, they got a first place in the first one with 24 ilms, and then a second place with 13 ilms. Can they get a top 3 in this next Arrogant?
I must say no. We're going to break it, and I think they're going to have a hard one here. But you're also going to see our fantastic playing path for this one, obviously brought to you by Sony Xperia, their official smartphone partner here for this event here at Gamers 8. Thank you so much for joining us. But this plane path here, it's going to go over the southwestern side on the military base here, Seven, and it's going to go over to Georgia Pole. There's so much hard terrain that is not going to be able to be reached without a long rotation with a car. We're talking prison. We're talking Milta. We're talking Esnaya. If even Servant is going to be a hard one with a rotation far. So let's see what happens. But so far, as we've been seeing and what we've been talking about, Falcons and Vampire, they have been doing so well. I'm so happy to see that a home turf hero here is going to be able to step it up. And right now, being second place, that is super, super impressive. But as we've been witnessing so far right now, Vampire, they are 30 points ahead of third place. That is nearly unheard of in a stage like this, where we have 18 teams competing, the best out of their regions. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, and after match, I think it was match 3, we thought, okay, Vampire Esports is performing really well, but Star Wars Esports, it's also being super, super consistent. They ended up getting those back-to-back third place finishes. But after that, they ended up with the 15th place, 0 ilms, and then the 9th place, 7 ilms. Yeah, they were able to make up some points there in regards to those 7 ilms, but Star Wars Esports wants to continue to get within those top 5 places.
7, I cannot believe the circle we are seeing right now on our screens. It is more than 500 meters away from our plane path. We have like 5 teams that's going to be inside the first circle when they land and start looting. This is going to be an insane game. Right now, back-to-back, they're trying to get redemption. But Trisme from Box is able to close that one out. Let's see, he's going to be able to get another one out here. J-Way Try to go for the rest,
Risk
maybe.
me, and he's gonna actually be aggressive. He's gonna try to go for it. It
Oh,
does
the shotgun
backfire.
too.
Polo says, "Sit down. You're not going anywhere. Leave my friends alone." But
Back
guess
up.
what? Box is gonna be able to back it up too.
Oh my God! I can't believe it. Box Gaming is out in 18th place. We've not played more than a couple of minutes, and they are out to our current bottom team. Maybe not after this, but back-to-back have had rough games today. Maybe this one can set them up for greatness here in the last one.
Yeah, I mean, if we go look at the record, they have back-to-back-to-back-to-back bad games.
Oh, no.
Hopefully this is the time we're just gonna cut that off, and then Polo there. I mean, good job back-to-back. That's what you want to see out of them. And guess what?
Oh, more mayhem.
They try to rotate, and no, it's not going to happen. Back-to-back, not being able to capitalize on that great star, and now it's going to be just J7 by himself, and you know RSG is going to hunt them down as they're looking at him.
M16 in hand. Two of the guys are very low, DD and GZ. They are low, but they're pushing up. J7 holding the stairs. Right now, M16, no first dates. It's in a rough situation for this one. We hear some reloading going on downstairs. That's going to be a fun one for the DPS. He finds one. Lighting goes down, goes deep. This is exactly what I love to see in this situation here. First player, when you have a compound breach like this, first player always goes deep, so he's going to be focused on, and then the rest of the guys can just surge in. So not even, they're able to secure everything. They're able to stay 4 guys alive here. Fantastic play and fantastic executions by Reckons.
Yeah, and I mean, it goes to show these teams are here for a reason, right? They are the original winners from their PMPLs in pretty much the spring split. So everybody currently on point, and I'm so glad you broke that down, that push, because you usually don't really see that from other teams. And while we're at it, let's watch PMWI together. Complete daily missions to earn points. Once enough points are accumulated, tap on the rewards icon to claim the corresponding reward.
Yeah, and you can participate in the event solo or as a team. And obviously, if you're playing as a team, it's going to be a little bit easier maybe to get the reward.
Yeah, and while you're at it, I mean, I know I play PUBG Mobile myself, and I know we're big into the skins. There is going to be a sale period between August 4th to August 13th. 50% off PMWI packs. Get a set straight away and 5 chances to draw PMWI treasure chests.
Yeah, there's also a sale on the PMWI packs. You have 6 chances to draw the PMWI treasure chests.
So much stuff going on. I mean, between August 4th and August 13th, all the users in the region of the top 3 teams will have a chance to win a prize, maximum of 1 award per user. So you best believe, I mean, back-to-back, please. I live in NA. Yeah, I just want to get I want to get 1 free award, please.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see this again here. The denial of the rotation, trying to get deeper. Reckons just saying no to back-to-back and the cleanup. But I will say this. Back-to-back did get 4 points. So getting 4 points in one game is better than the 9 they've gotten so far in the 5 other games. But I really hope that back-to-back, they're going to be able to step it back up, go back to the hotel, go back, learn some of what they've been taking some of the situations today, and also look at the games because they have been super intricate and super special. Some of the situations we've seen is wild and nearly unheard of in some of the games that we've had.
And I wonder if after seeing, if them possibly seeing the leaderboard, right? They saw themselves in last place. They did have a great start with those 4 Illims. They should have just slowed it down a little bit, but maybe they didn't want to. Maybe they just wanted to go for it, and ultimately they didn't really were able to scout what was going on around them. The other team was able to scout. They heard those gunshots. They knew that somebody was there, and they took advantage of everything. So back-to-back, I'm pretty sure that if they go back and watch that VOD, hopefully they're going to be able to learn a lot for tomorrow. They can still have a chance.
Yeah, it's just the perfect play by Reckons, right?
Yep.
You see the kill feed, you hear the shots coming out as well. You're able to third-party that situation while they're broken vest, not that much loot. So it's well executed by back-to-back in the situation inside with Bucks, but Reckons just third-partied them in a perfect time. All right, let's see what Donuts is able to do. And so far, what we've had Vampire Esports and Falcon Esports. They have been doing extremely well right now, sitting in the top, but we have a really, really close top 5 still. Stalwart, Box, and Donuts basically within 3 points of each other from 53 to 52 to 50.7. That's super impressive as well. And obviously, they are fighting for those top spots to make sure they can get to the after party, and that's where all the fun is at.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely where all the fun's going to be. And I'm going to be looking actually at the teams that are currently like 12 and 18, right? Starting off with RSG, they have 24 points, and then you have back-to-back there with 9 points all the way at the bottom. If any of these teams are able to kind of just pull out a great last game here on day 1 is going to set them in such a great position for tomorrow to at least strike and get themselves within the top 7. I mean, we saw what happened with Morph. They started the first 2 matches, 0 points. And after that, guess what? They got a chicken dinner. They were able to get 22 points, and they were able to at least push themselves up to 8. So one game can definitely change the luck of a lot of these teams that are currently between 12 and 18.
All right, Eitan, what are you able to do here? Circle is closing, and it's a wild one. Obviously, a lot of teams are coming in from the southwest. Our plane path was far west, and our circle, first one, pops super far east. A lot of teams are setting themselves up. There's a lot of really good compounds in these situations. Some prefer to play high ground. One of them is Team Soul. We see them right now. They get the information from a ton. The question is, are they going to take it to them? Are they going to wait for the circle, or what's going to happen in this one here?
And I think they're going to want to just keep going.
For sure. Yeah, they're getting information. They're going to go deeper, try to scout for some better compounds. Enigma Galaxy, as you see, also trying to get some more out of it. Potential drive-bys going on, maybe. They see a solo car. That means potential free points. Omega and Soul, ooh, they're chasing a lot right now. Oh, that's a good turn. They didn't expect that one.
And right now, Omega just trying to make sure he gets away. I'm actually surprised Enigma Galaxy wanted to take on that fight, because guess what? They're going to leave their backs just absolutely exposed from all the other teams that are on that higher hill. And now, if they wanted to move, guess what? You're going to be stuck right there. You're not going to be able to move anywhere. They know where you're at. And luckily for them, they were able to secure their vehicles in a way where their tires are not going to get popped.
Exactly. All right. Circle is closing. Another 10 seconds or so, and we're going to see the next one. You can see a lot of teams obviously betting on it's going to go center, because if they're able to close one out early, one of the compounds that is good, it's going to be super important. But it pops somewhat center, but still a little bit southeast. We're going to have a lot of compounds close to Prison open, and other teams that were center before, they have to shift a little bit further east if they want to continue to have some of those compounds.
And the team that I'm actually intrigued to see what's going to happen here with this rotation is going to be Stalwart Esports. I mean, they once again, they have absolutely nobody in their way of being able to rotate into that circle. They are going to have Melted to themselves, and after that, they can take their time to just loot and secure more utilities, because with the way we're seeing right now, a lot of people are playing that middle. If they're going to need smokes at the end. I just got a feeling they're going to need a lot of smoke grenades at the end, and Stalwart Esports might be able to position themselves in a good way with all the fights that are about to ensue.
All right, RSG reckons on screen. It's Lightning. With Lightning reflexes, obviously. Virtual Gaming Squad to the pull-up here on the high ground compound. Let's see if it's going to happen here with that. It's Mansion. It's in the garage.
Virtual Gaming Squad. Oh, decides to actually throw the grenade somewhere else, trying to fake him out. And guess what? His friends are going to be coming over. RSG is gonna have to backfire a little bit more. What I'm intrigued by, Virtual Gaming Squad, the other 2 players, Luigi and also Yafaz, they're staying behind. They don't want to move into this fight.
Inside Mansion now, just trading nades, utility back and forth. A lot of smokes coming out, maybe potentially as well from Virtual Gaming Squad. Maybe they want to disengage from this fight here. Oh, now Buggy is out there. One shot still staying. They just want to completely get away from this one here. One shot with some damage. GZ finds a Gaddafi, and one shot with a nade. That is huge for them. And Regens potentially able to close some more points out. Oh my god, finds another one. Oh, I can't believe it. Virtual Gaming Squad in shamble after this one.
And to be honest, Avenger, I don't know if a Virtual Gaming Squad was thinking about this. Those 2 players stayed there way too long, and the other players stayed in the building for too long. I mean, maybe they were expecting RSG to push out, and they were going to be able to get an angle on them. It didn't end up happening, and RSG, guess what? You're going to be happy. You were able to at least get a nail him. You might not be able to get the second one, and then you're going to get a free rotation out of it. Oh, they're actually going to be aggressive. They're going to continue on that fight. Lightning does crash into the rock. It's going to backfire for him. He does get knocked. Faluji tried to get another knock. He gets it too. He's going to try to secure this Illips, but he needs to be careful because Flower C was shooting at him. There is some players that have an angle limit. Oh, Faluji! So close, yet so far away from being able to find that cover.
Gaddafi, last player for Virtual Gaming Squad. Can he make something happen? Or is he going to be able to pick up the pieces left on the ground? There are 2 knocks right now for Regens, DD and Lightning. GZ is going to be able to push into that garage. Let's see if Flower C is going to cover that angle that Gaddafi potentially has. He has the information now, and now he's going to close it out. Gaddafi wants to go for the rest, of course, upstairs, but Flower C wants to deny that.
And at this point, Regens has already just Picked up everybody. They're replenishing the Hellflower Seed, though. Does end up getting hurt. He's going to have to slow down a little bit. Here's going to come a grenade. He does throw that grenade perfectly. GC! Wow. Talk about knowing where the enemy team is going to be. He read that perfectly.
So well played by him. Now Enigma Galaxy waiting for the circle to pop. It's going to pop, and it's going to go slightly south, but still wide center. A lot of teams could go into the prison here in this situation. It's very, very centered on that. Starwater looking good. Enigma Galaxy could be going early. Bevo Keat still scouting a little bit. A lot of teams are on the northwest side of the circle, so there is a lot of space on the southeast side of this new pop here.
The Star Wars Esports, I want to figure out if they're going to go into actual prison or if they're going to try to take that mountain, that overview, and just set themselves up. It seems like they want to be at the base of it, and we're going back to the RSG GC. I mean, talk about just reading that player like a book, and he did just that. The grenade was wonderful, and overall, RSG, what a play out of them. I felt like Virtual Gaming Squad once again just played that absolutely awful, taking off too long and being out too spread away. For them, just you either want to take the fight or you don't want to take the fight. Hopefully tomorrow we'll see a little bit more certainty out of that team.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see what they're able to do here. While we look at how the different players play the game. Some play 3 fingers. Some of the wild ones play 4. I'm not even close to being able to do that. These guys are just wild, and the speed they're able to put onto this screen here is obviously amazing. Again, thanks to Sony Xperia for joining us here, sponsoring the event, the official smartphone partner for the Gamers 8 and PMWI.
I was looking at Omega's hand cam there. I thought he was only going to be playing thumbs. I was like, wow, that's impressive. At this level, you're used to seeing people just playing with 4 fingers or 6 all the time. It's been a while since I've seen just a thumb player. And as I say that, I think
another one.
As I say that, Missile might actually be one of those players with just yeah. Look at these setups. They're only playing with 2 thumbs. And then you go.
They have
so many
some of them
variations.
already. Yeah, it's crazy, and that's the beautiful thing, right? You can set up the game exactly how you want to play it. Put the buttons around however you prefer it. You can play gyro, no gyro, and obviously some of the best players, they're able to use 3-4 fingers and the gyro, so that is the wild thing. Okay, let's see what is going to happen the rest of the game here. We have Aton. They are putting out a little bit of bullets towards the Donuts guys. They are trying to rotate in. They're trying to get into a better position on the western side, try to get into shelter and maybe deeper in, and that's going to be a hard one for them. They have a lot of teams ahead of them that potentially could be shooting in their direction. Lightning found Morph. Say is down. It's not good for Morph. So
I'm intrigued to see what Aton Esports is going to be able to do here. This is a team that is so consistent when it comes to Latin America. For the longest time, it was all about Team Queso, and then Aton Esports, that's the main team. But it seems to be, at least to me, from what we've seen so far of the previous Globals events that they have played, they just farm in the region. Right now, they haven't been able to find the groove here in regards to just global events against other regions.
Wow.
Hopefully this will be different. And when you talk about a shift, oh man, Sour Esports, they really don't have to do much. They're just going to try to go up on that mountain right next to Prison.
Yeah, exactly. They could potentially take the Lion's Rock, but I think they're going to maintain control on the right side, basically the east side of the Prison Hill there. That's where some of the better areas are. Falcon sending it in. Powerful gone down to DD. Potentially going to lose him. I don't see them surviving that one. DD, more shots coming in, finding Never Alone as well. And Falcon is losing multiple players in this situation here. Flush coming in, elimination is confirmed. And let's see if they're going to be able to take further or put further damage into Falcons here. Oh, Yusuf finds Flower C. And they're turning it around potentially.
And I'm glad that Team Falcon decided to take on this fight. Lightning almost getting caught. Team Falcon, though, surprisingly for them to actually lose the players with the way they've been playing recently, I think they wanted to maybe hop out the cars a little bit sooner, but they might have seen them one key. I just drive by them, and that they were like, okay, we don't want to get sandwiched, so let's kind of keep on moving. It ended up working out for RSG.
Yeah, exactly. Dumb Kia rotating in their Kias, and they're now inside the prison area, holding down one of these situations. Aton losing multiple players. That is so unfortunate. Dumb Kia is able to clean that one up.
And
they're going to be walking away with eliminations. Exactly. Now, one defeat for them. We're down to 14 teams. There's 50 players left alive still in this tiny circle. As you can see, there's so many teams trying to figure out where we're going to go, where we're going to try to get in. And only a few teams have decided to try to crash into the prison. But obviously, they've seen the kill feed. They've seen how many players are going down rapidly, and that could be some of the crashes there in the center. Now, Vampire Esports, your current leader in terms of total points. They are 4 guys strong. 0 eliminations so far in this one, 7. But they are maintaining a lot of control here on that south side.
They are, and they're being sneaky. They're not trying to take a fight where they might end up getting damaged or they might end up getting hurt. And now we're going to go to Donuts against PMWI. PMWI, one of the teams from Brazil. And guess what? Diego doesn't really know. Oh, Diego's going to be able to turn on. Can Diego actually secure this knock? I think he would. Oh, he wasn't able to, but he decides to back off. He needs to heal up. This is going to be interesting if Diego. What is Diego going to be able to do? As you see, McGrellin just waiting patiently. Missile, though. With the grenade, can he hit Diego behind that vehicle? He's not able to hit him.
That's a good nade. Another one. He uses so much utility to confirm this. Another Molotov as well. Diego walks away from it, pushes some damage into it. He's going to walk around. He's going to swift. Oh my god, he finds it. He gets him down though. Missile half HP. He's going to confirm the elimination there. And now the rest of the Vivo Kid guys are trying to get most of it. Is all Missile. He's under a lot of pressure. He goes down himself. Cielo is able to open it up.
And I was wondering, why didn't Vivo Key do this a little bit sooner? I feel like they went on too long. You knew exactly where he was. You should have just went for it. Vivo Key now trying to make amends for losing that player. And there you go. That might have been the reason, because they are getting shot from behind. Vivo Key playing this a little bit slower. Team Soul, you see Team Soul getting in a fight there with Enigma Galaxy. Just so many fights currently going on. Now, Otto, we've seen what he's been able to do in previous matches. Can he do that again? Can he clutch up for his team against Vivo Key?
Oh.
He is! He takes the fight. He is able to confirm the Elim, though, before he ends up getting eliminated himself.
So unfortunate for the Vivo Kid Stars. They have to make a situation where they are resting one player and then they try to take the fight. Meanwhile, they should have gone 3 players, focus on the fight, try to clean up, and then go for the rest afterwards, I feel like. But unfortunate for them, it doesn't work out as well. Still survive, get the points on the board. Next circle shift, it goes north in this new circle, and Prison is a huge part of this endgame here.
It is, and I think one of the teams, I'm just going to go back to them. I've been talking about them the whole match. Star Wars Esports, what are they going to do? I think they're just going to try to set themselves up on that Prison Mountain, but they're going to have to be careful. I mean, TJB is right there. 52 Esports is very close to them as well. I'm intrigued to see what's going to be happening here, as we do see Wildcats. I mean, outside of the circle, they need to try to get in there quickly.
Oh. Utility coming out towards Falcons. Crowd favorite right now. Second place overall. TJP putting some damage into 52. This is a pull-up, Alec. I've never seen one huge push. Yusuf gone down. It's a trade, basically. Damar, last player. Is he going to be able to do something? He finds another one. I can't believe it. It takes RSG down single-handedly. Team Falcons close them out.
Team Falcon just continuing to surprise people, and guess what? They're able to do it again, winning those 1v1s and getting those trades if they do end up losing somebody. If one of their teammates ends up getting knocked, and then guess what? I was talking about it earlier, Star Wars Esports against 52 Esports. They're going to go up against each other. Enigma trying to figure out how they're going to be able to break into this, but it is Vampire Esports that they are going to be going up against. That's a team that's just really hot right now.
Really interesting. Another part is that we have a lot of teams that are full form and alive. 5 teams: Wildcats, Enigma Galaxy, Vampire Esports, TTP, Stalwart, 4 rivals as well. 4 players strong here, 7. That's going to be a huge impact in the late game.
It really is. Let's see this fight. What's going to happen? Team Falcons gets eliminated. 3 elims, though, and a 9th place finish for them.
Very
Not
respectable.
a bad way to go out, considering their previous performances. And Vampire Esports, now here comes the push. What's going to happen with Enigma Galaxy? We do see 2 players knocked. Enigma, Lore, being able to knock one of the other players, and that's going to back him up a little bit. Maybe it forces Vampire Esports to slow down a little bit, but Vampire Esports does not want to slow down. Star Wars Esports, I think, is currently being able to get an angle on him.
Yeah, they're putting on pressure from multiple angles in this situation. Lord and Freak, last players from Enigma Galaxy, and Fluke and Stoned is last 2 players from Vampire. Who closes this one out? Stalwart inside. That's an insane shot by Freak. Vampire Esports has gone down in 8th place with 2 eliminations.
Freak with the grenade. Earlier we saw everybody, and look at the circle rotation. I mean, only Wildcats is the team that's inside that circle.
Yeah, that is insane. They're 4 guys strong too. Stalwart has to move out of it. Vivo Keed has to move out of it. Enigma Galaxy has to move out. So insane for this one. And the question is, do they focus on fighting each other rather than trying to get into the circle? I can see a situation where Enigma Galaxy gets into the circle and maybe gatekeep some of the other teams. But all the other teams, they are going to assure mutual destruction against each other. Damonkia, Stalwart, Vivo Keed as well. They're going to be in a rough situation. Nice shots coming in there. And 4 rivals.
I mean, Wildcats is just currently setting themselves up. They should be able to get a lot of the elims here. Teams are going to try to push up, but you can see that. No matter who just passes by them, they're going to make sure they shoot them and just back them up a little bit. And Enigma Galaxy, I'm glad you pointed that out. I think they are going to try to just get into that and try to keep an eye on some of the other teams that are going to be coming out of prison. I mean, we see Down 1 and Kia. They're going to have to push out. They have to be careful, though. It's Star Wars Esports. Just so much madness going to happen in the next 2 minutes.
All right, Stalwart as well, fighting versus 4 rivals right now. They want to be the only team on the northeastern edge, but still, the pressure is coming in from Wildcats, as you were pointing out, Seven. They're trying to make sure that they don't even get off this hill. They want to get as many eliminations as they can for this one. Well, Stalwart fighting to stay alive, fighting for the eliminations. 4 rivals, 10 eliminations for them so far. Super impressive for the team coming out of Malaysia.
Indeed, and here we go.
Oh!
Even though they did have 10 elims, guess what Star Wars Esports says? Slow down, boys. We want to be able to get some elims too. And you can see them just pushing together, making sure they secure those elims too. 4 rivals. How are they going to react to that? And what's interesting right now is that we have Enigma Galaxy actually pushing on Wildcats. We can't see it, but that's going to be a big fight. Here we go. Enigma Galaxy with a big push. Can they secure some knocks? It seems like they're truly just trading back and forth. The boys, can he clutch up? He's not. Enigma Galaxy lore being able to secure the knock as well. It's just 1 player left there. Boren, can he clutch it up? A 2v1.
Oh, the utility's coming out as well. Boren, last play. I think he's hit by the utility. I think Wildcats is taking so much fire. Boren is down to no health. He's found as well. It's Enigma Galaxy with their pull-up onto the Wildcats. They're able to take this huge terrain away from them. And they're setting themselves up for the win. The only way to win the game was to do that.
I'm with you. I thought they were going to be patient because they saw just Wildcats taking all, shooting everybody, being distracted by what Star Wars Esports was doing, what Dan 1 was going to do as well with 4 rivals. But they decided to take their future into their hands, went for it, and it ended up working out for him. If I'm not mistaken, they only lost 1 player, so that is a great push for me.
The nade! Can he do it? Oh my god! Multiple nades coming out. It's only Junai left from Down 1 Kia. More utilities being thrown at him. And he's going to throw a jump. And oh my god, they found him there actually with the last utility from action. Here's Stalwart with a huge game. 10 eliminations here, 7.
And now it's going to be 1 player for 4 rivals trying to rotate into that circle. I think he's going to be able to make it there. Vivo Keed McGrellin staying alive. Shooting at people, actually. I thought he was going to try to be quiet, but he's not. He needs to be careful. Star Wars Esports is right next to him, and they know where he's at now. Oh,
it's found. It's like a game of hide and seek. He didn't hide that well. He's trying to seek for some kills now. 4 rivals putting some pressure onto Stalwart. He's the last player from... Oh, he's finding 1. Action is fallen. That's not that good. Oh, Stalwart finds one of the guys from Enigma Galaxy, though. It is going to be a rough situation for both of them. Let's see what Enigma Galaxy is going to be able to get out of this one. Stalwart looking strong, though.
And if Stalwart is able to pick up that player that went down, this is going to be huge for them. Here we go.
That could be good.
Key OP. Can he say... Ooh. Close.
Pika,
Close.
Pika playing the anchor angle there. He has to make sure they're getting the rest off as well. And that is 4 rivals out. Nice try, though. I want to say for Roki up. Now, Enigma Galaxy is finding 1 more.
Top not being able to get behind that cover. That's going to hurt them big time. If they would have been able to get behind that cover and get that angle, it would have been huge. Enigma Galaxy getting a bit of a chance. It's going to come down to who's able to get the knocks. And he get it. No! Enigma Galaxy is not able to get the knock. He gets knocked instead. And I think this might end up going Star Wars Esports' way. You know they're going to be aggressive. They know they might have the numbers. There you go. They're able to finish off that player action with the angle top Pika as well. Star Wars Esports being able to knock that, pretty much eliminate that player from 4 rivals was huge for them.
Amadi, can he make the dream happen here for Enigma Galaxy? Utility coming out of this, working quite well for them. He has 1 more nade. If he hits one of them, it's going to be huge. This next knock could be massive. Action though. Oh my
two
god, he
knocks!
hits it. Hamadi with the double nade. He gets traded though. And it's down to a 1 versus 2 for Nick McGalaxy and Stalwart Esports.
Talk about a turn of events, being able to get 2 knocks there with that grenade. Nick McGalaxy, where has this been all day? Even if you guys don't get the chicken there.
More utility.
I'm impressed. He's getting ready to throw that other nade. Can he get another 2-man knock?
Ooh.
Oh, so close.
That is a lot of damage being put out of the Molotov. Is doing so much damage to Rauf. Hamadi with another nade in hand. He finds one. Top's gone down. He has more utility to be used though. Rauf is able to heal it off. And more utility. This is such a huge game of utility. Rauf with the push. This could be huge. Is he going to be able to do it? He's going to be taken down. That is unfortunate. Hamadi, last player. And that is insane. That is so well played by Stalwart Esports.
They had some rough times, they had some good times at that, and I think that they could expect some way better day, tomorrow, heading into day 3. Also, I think this first day, you're going to go back to the hotel, you're going to do that VOD review, and hopefully